And the Cheech and Manny show is live. Merry Christmas, everybody. Ho, ho, ho. And to all, a good cheer. Hope everyone has their mugs ready. We are going to be talking, actually speaking, get that coffee warmed up. We're going to be talking some progressive rock today. We are joined, well, I'm joined with my usual awesome co-host, the People's Bassist, Cheech. Cheech, what's going on, brother?
What's up, Manner? How's it going? How's everything?
Oh, dude.
Looking forward to this episode. We have our special guest, Mr. Joe Silkman, Silky Joe. Me and Joe were talking about how hard it is to pick the top 10, our top 10 prog albums,
It's
So
almost impossible.
it is. And I wrote my Bible on prog. I
I
mean,
know.
it's insane. And
Teach
I just
the holy gospel according to yes.
Yeah, yeah. According to Keith Emerson, and I
King Crimson are like the Book of Prophets, you know.
they are, and I just started ELP's first album today. Let me tell you, man, I just started Barbarian, the first song. It took me an hour just to break that one down. So,
Oh gosh, and we could spend here like 4 hours doing that song alone. Just
oh, I know.
Greg Lake's vocals, you know.
Yeah,
But Merry Christmas to you both. Joe, I love the background. That tree is awesome. I wish I had a tree behind me. You should have joined our look, he even has the flannel. Like you should have joined our Christmas special.
love it.
I
Um,
enjoyed listening to it, and I listened to the Johnny Mathis Christmas album 3 times in the last 24 hours.
That's
You guys
awesome.
have gotten me in the Christmas spirit, so I have to thank the Cheech and Manny Music Podcast Christmas Edition.
Oh,
Got me
thank
in the
you.
spirit.
Thanks so
Yo,
much.
mission accomplished. And I think it's funny because Cheech and I in agreement that's the greatest Christmas record. And I know a lot of people will we didn't hear too much pushback, but because obviously I feel like it's Nat King Cole versus Mathis. And
Yeah.
I think we picked Mathis only because it's fantastic. It gets you in the
It ha
spirit.
it has every, obviously Mathis interpretations, his vocals, and then Percy
Mhm.
Heath's arrangements doesn't get
Oh,
better.
it's
It doesn't get better than that.
so timeless. But today, if I heard that right, Cheech, we are doing the top 10, our top 10 progressive rock records,
Yes. Hmm.
right? Not songs.
No, no, no. I meant, did I say records? Oh, songs
I was gonna
for
say because
progressive.
we'll be here for hours if
No,
we do
no, my
that.
mistake, people. God, my
Dude,
brain is progged out.
yeah,
Okay, it's like
we're still, the Holy Spirit of Prague is like
yeah.
overwhelming us.
Mr. Black has got me on the prog mode. I don't know. So we're doing our top favorite prog songs. And that includes anything that is proggy. It doesn't have to be Yes, it doesn't have to be
Yep,
Genesis. It could
yep.
be anything that any prog element in it makes it prog.
And for those of you wondering, well, what is progress? What is prog? What is the people's basis talking about? I'm gonna link our video to our what is progressive rock episode and our prehistoric prog, so you can understand what we're talking about. But I love that, Cheech. Yeah, because I think we forget that we put an end date on prog. I don't know how you feel about this, Joe, but we say 76 it ends, right? With
Classic prog.
classic prog. But that
Yeah.
being said, art rock continues.
Hmm.
And I know it's funny, I'm gonna have Kate Bush on my list, believe it or not, because I feel like she is progressive rock. Her first album was produced by David Gilmour, so that's not a coincidence. But yeah, there's art rock, and then the progressive rock is still strong. I mean, it's still going with
Oh, it's still out there. I mean, there's so many bands like Porcupine Tree,
yep, yep. And
Dream
and that
Theater.
guy, what's his name that we were talking about, Cheech? The guy that had that podcast. Oh, who's his name? Do
Yeah,
you know?
the English guy.
The English guy.
Yeah.
He has his own prog band and keeping prog alive as well. And he's
Yeah.
remixing and remastering a lot of the classic stuff, which
Yeah.
is great. He's like a great sound engineer.
And he brought up one that needs to be mentioned, Marillion.
Yes, and shout out to I think the channel is called Classic Album Review. It's the British these Brits, man, they're awesome. He recommended Carol of the Bells by Marillion. And I was like, and then I went down the rabbit hole. I was like, I didn't even know this awesome and great version of Carol of the Bells.
Yeah, just a brief history. Joe, you know Marillion?
I do not know Marillion.
Marillion kind of brought back Prague in the early 80s. I think we looked up the first album, right? Man, it was like
It was
82.
like 83, yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
So they kind of brought back the real prog. And the singer, I think his name was Fish, and I had the honor of seeing them open up for some band from Canada
Some
in
lads from
in
Toronto, huh?
1986, and I was just like, my mind was like, oh my God, Marillion blew me away. I was,
No, and shout out to the guy. I'll probably link his channel, but I'll give him a shout out. He was looking forward to our new album, so I'm
yeah.
kind of curious now myself.
Yeah,
Going
so those of you who don't know Marillion, they're not a 70s prog rock like what we're talking about, but they are a 80s new prog band that, of that era that just had a short-lived career in the fame, but brilliant prog band, brilliant.
Yeah,
Great singer.
and we can't forget also like Iron Maiden. I view them as prog, especially some of their albums.
Well, now Maiden is proggy than ever. I mean, like, that's metal prog. So Maiden always was prog. Listen to Phantom of the Opera.
Oh,
That's
dude,
friggin' prog
everything,
rock.
dude. Fan of the Opera is a prog classic, and they
It
even.
is.
It's funny because they get even like more instrumental as well. Because
Mhm.
one thing with prog is art rock, so it gets
Yeah,
a little, and their album covers they get more
yeah.
fantastic.
Maiden took a lot from prog and they metalized it, because Steve Harris was a huge Genesis fan, a huge Wishbone Ash fan, and a huge Tull fan. And then they took the covers and then they took the odd meters. So Maiden is definitely not, I wouldn't say they're all prog, but they have so many prog elements in
The
their music that it's
the
ridiculous.
the influence is there, like
Yeah.
I feel like metal also took a lot from like the prog rock scenes,
Oh
and
yes, yeah.
not a coincidence that it becomes progressive metal. Which, by the way, those four lads from Toronto, a little band called Rush. I mean, I know nobody knows them, but
Yeah.
they're the ones. Yeah, they kind of continued the prog flag, and I think I don't know, Joe. If you have any Rush picks on your list, I think Joe, Cheech and I will have our list.
I had to be very careful because my top 10 would have been Rush, so I said, wait, there's other prog bands out there,
Mine
Cheech,
would have been Rush and Genesis. I wouldn't even
and
go.
just to talk about what Rush did in 76 with 2112, they invented prog rock
Hmm.
metal,
They
and I
metalized
was
it.
lucky enough. I was in a prog metal band in
Didn't
1980.
didn't didn't. Like, dude, they're on it. 21
Oh
and the
yeah.
concept 2112, dude. Philosoph. I mean, they were
Oh
on
no.
it.
I was in a prog band in 89. We were called, what were we called? Alliance. And during that time, from about 88 to about 91, when that evil G word came out, grunge, it
Yeah,
destroyed,
everybody, Cheech loves grunge.
yeah, it destroyed my bands. Dream Theater, there was a great movement. Dream Theater, Fates Warning,
Well,
Lethal,
we talked about this,
Annihilator.
Cheech, but it was kind of like
Yeah,
punk too. How punk also kind of
yeah,
destroyed prog in a way, like put the axe on that.
yeah,
It's kind of
yeah.
funny.
But it was nice to see a nice prog metal movement for about a decade. I'm not a decade, about 3 or 4 years. Toxic and who's the other band? Watchtower. Some of these bands were insanely as proggy as Yes,
Hmm.
but heavy, but very heavy.
And we
Uh,
also just one more thing because it's in my mind. Zeppelin's presence also got influenced by Prague. They got a little
1976.
influence in there, and I argue also I call them blues Prague. Like I feel like they're
Yeah,
the kings of that. Especially the long instrumental stuff. Like
yeah.
and Page is being an insane musician. Like he was, and all of them
Well,
actually. But
Page's ear was always going to what was happening. And in 1976, Prague was at its peak, selling England by the pound, 2112,
that's
you know what I
true.
mean?
And he had to. I'm out. Like I would be kind of like shocked if he was not interacting with any of these bands or listening to them or
Yeah, Left Overture, and like you listen to the opening on Presence, Achilles' Last Stand.
Mhm.
The concept alone is Prague, and then the hits, the riff, definitely. He was definitely influenced by Prague. Although, did something happen to Jimmy Page, Joe? I read he had an operation, or was that just fake AI BS?
I don't believe any of that stuff. No, I didn't see anything.
Yeah, you gotta be
Oh,
careful, Cheech. There's a lot of fake AI
no, I was
news.
like, guy nervous for a second. I'm like, I don't even know what.
No, the only thing that you send me a text, and I know Joe knows this already. Rob Reiner, which
That's
rest in
so
peace, which is
sad. Yeah,
horrible.
rest
That
in peace,
that's
Rob
true.
Reiner.
I looked at all the sources, like that actually
Yeah,
happened, but no, nothing. I didn't see anything on Jimmy Page because I follow like Ultimate Classic Rock magazine. They
yeah,
usually post news like that, but no.
oh, yeah.
But
So, want to dive right in?
let's let's
I got some trivia for you
let's
guys.
dive right in.
Okay, trivia. Okay, this is probably a no-brainer. Who sold the most albums as a prog band?
Wait, does Pink Floyd count?
Of course.
I think I'm gonna put Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon.
Yep, they did.
I know that
Two,
fact.
250
Yeah.
million
And,
copies.
and I'm pretty sure their song Money, I think it's Money, has been on the charts long. I think it's the longest prog rock song to be on the charts.
Oh, yeah, yeah. This is sad. Who sold the least prog rock albums? This is
Joe,
so fucking sad.
Joe, you first.
I'll say Renaissance.
Oh no, Renaissance is really low. Yeah,
So they won that.
I don't think Renaissance made 60 million. I'm sorry, 60,000 copies sold, which is sad. They should have been at least a million.
Oh, is
But
that
this
the
is
answer?
no, no.
Okay,
This
so
is
it's so Renaissance is low.
really low. Yeah, yeah,
So I'm gonna say maybe King Crimson.
yep. They only sold a million copies.
Well, I told you that that record, like financially, was a failure. And I was watching a commentary on that album. Nobody really knows the album except those that, like you said, saw the band live
Yeah,
and musicians. Like
yeah,
they saw King Crimson and they were like, "Whoa, what is this?" But yeah, I figured that that was the album that sold poor. I
yeah.
mean, honestly, King Crimson, I don't think none of their albums were
N-
financially successful. So.
No, no. They were just known as a live band and the fathers. Um, Genesis. Now, I couldn't find the Prague era, but overall, how many albums do you think they sold?
The kid,
In their entire career?
Yeah. I wish I could have found like the Prague, but it doesn't list it.
the total, like even with
Yeah,
their I mean, because Phil Collins took him meteoric like
yeah,
heights.
yeah. They sold
120 million.
150 million.
Okay.
Emerson,
It's funny we can break down like Peter Gabriel versus Phil Collins because I feel like Peter Gabriel stuff I don't think sold like I think if they were they definitely sold albums, but I Phil Collins just took it to the next level
oh yeah.
in terms of
Um,
sales, not music is
who do you think sold more, ELP or Yes?
yes.
Yes.
Nope.
What?
ELP, 48
You,
million.
you know what's funny? I find that so hard to believe. Like that's in like Joe Cheech was telling me that ELP were huge, and like it's crazy because I would figure it's yes
I
because
mean, I could be wrong, but on the sources I looked up, it said 48 million,
now he
Yes, 30 million.
now he must be right.
Rush 45 million. This is interesting. And this is probably because of one song. Kansas 30 million.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Sticks 54 million.
Also sounds right.
Jethro Tull 60 million. So that's just a trivia.
Jethro Tull's another one that's surprising. Like,
Yeah, well they had a lot of hits. They were huge. They had a lot of hits,
hmm.
So any more trivia or any more questions on
Well, let's see. Both of you, quick, just make it festive here. Cheech, favorite Christmas song of all time. Go.
Oh my God, Greg Lake, Father Christmas.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Oh,
Yes.
and the Pretenders. I don't know the name of
Oh,
the
you
song.
love that one.
Oh my
Yeah, yeah.
God, it
You
makes
picked the
me
more of the
cry.
rock and roll hits, the rock hits.
Yeah, those are the two. A classic. Ah, you got to go.
It's okay, Cheech. You can see Mariah Carey's.
You got to go White Christmas.
Which
Either
version?
either Bing or Perry. You know what I mean?
Mm.
They're just probably Bing Cosby because it's Bing Cosby.
Joe, what about you?
I like the entire Charlie Brown Christmas album by the
Yeah,
Vince Guaraldi Trio.
that's
I
so
can't
good.
pick one song, but it is our family tradition Christmas morning that I come down and I put on that music and light up the tree, and then the rest of the family comes down to open gifts. So
That's
that is a
beautiful.
tradition. Can't pick a song, but if I had to pick a song, probably Nat King Cole's "Chestnuts."
That is a good one.
Classic
Yeah.
Christmas song. That's it doesn't honestly does not get more classic than that. Like
No.
like and the story of how they wrote that song is amazing too. The composers, which is maybe a story for another day, but yeah, those are good picks. I'm surprised none of you picked Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You
God, no.
or Wham's Last Christmas, which by the way,
Great. I love
I,
that
I love
song.
the song, but it's just shocking how everyone quickly just jumps to those two and like kind of
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's always been Greg Lake.
that's a
Because
beautiful song. You're right.
yeah,
I was listening to a great version sung by a Christmas orchestra.
yeah,
Beautiful song, especially when
gorgeous.
it's very very strange too, like thematically. Like
Because in
great.
England, he's not Santa Claus, he's Father
He's
Christmas.
Father Christmas,
Yeah, so
right,
that
right.
makes it,
Same thing
beautiful.
in Spanish. He's Papa Noel, so like Father Christmas. Same concept. Yeah. But yeah, awesome.
Froggy Christmas.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, well, Joe, I think you know this. Prog rock does have its Christmas anthem. It's clearly Rush's,
Oh yeah,
closer to
closer
the
to the
heart,
heart.
just
I
because of
always
those
say that.
bells. Like,
Yeah, it
uh,
makes you think of Christmas when you hear that those. In the
it,
middle, hold high places. Right before that part, you hear those bells.
it's like ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, those times.
All
But
right.
what's your favorite, man?
Oh man, I would. Okay, if let me do top two because uh, definitely I'm going to say okay, fun one. Paul McCartney's "Wonderful Christmas
Oh,
Time."
that's a great, yeah,
That
yeah,
that
beautiful.
song is so eternal to me. Reminds me of childhood. Like and I love Paul McCartney. Like I heard the song when I was little, loved it. Learned the story of how he recorded it, which is shocking. So simple, and he used a cheap like toy synthesizer, which
Yeah.
is insane. Um, and then classic. Oh man, if I have to go with two because I wouldn't even have a pick, but Happy Holidays, especially the Andy Williams version. That
Yeah,
one makes me so happy every time I hear it. And then White Christmas.
yeah. You
I
got
mean,
to go with
honestly,
that.
it's like, and if I have to pick a religious one, Oh Holy Night, especially Nat King Cole's version, which is fantastic,
Yeah.
beautiful. Now, whole Nat King Cole album could fit in once.
Between Mathis and Nat King
And
Cole,
Mathis. Oh, I
I
wouldn't even
mean,
be able to pick. Like,
they're the greatest.
and then shout out to Vince. Yeah, Vince's Giraldi's trio. The Peanuts Christmas album it's
Oh
immortal.
yeah, oh
It's
yeah.
eternal.
Amazing.
You know what's shocking? I did not grow up on the Peanuts. Like I didn't see them until I reached high school. Like I didn't grow up on none of that. Blew
Oh
me
man,
away.
in the '70s, dude, me and my sister and Joe probably. Joe, was Charlie Brown came out when you were a kid in the '60s? I got it in the '70s.
Around 1965, it's very possible. I saw the initial first time it was put
Right.
on network
Wait.
television.
So Joe, when you saw it for the first time, like what was your reaction? Like what did you think?
It was an instant holiday tradition to watch it every year. It was just so great. It was so much fun. Yeah,
And
right
then
up there.
and they did every holiday because me and my sister
Yeah.
would just,
Oh,
they did it
oh,
Halloween, they did
oh.
Easter,
That in school the teachers would play it. So I remember in high school, that was the first time when I actually saw it. And I was like, whoa, what is this? And I didn't think much of it. Years later, listened to the Christmas album. Whoa, blew me away. Did research on Vince, and I think I'm pronouncing his name right. Vince Giraldi's, the
Yeah.
trio, and his recording of it. I was like, all right, this is an insane Christmas jazz classic. Like,
And I think in 2025, Charlie Brown will be put on medication because they tortured the poor bastard. Think about it. You're a psychiatrist. What
you
that
know, it's
kid
funny.
went
I
through.
saw this funny psychology column on it that this person was talking about like Charlie Brown would be a perfect candidate for like high anxiety, depression, major depression.
School shooter. mean, the poor bastard.
Yeah,
You
poor
know?
kid. And actually, when you watch, I always feel bad for him. Like, damn, he needs help.
He was always
Ah,
depressed.
little
They
joke,
never,
but
they never treated, they never gave Charlie Brown a break.
it's funny. It's funny how mean the kids are too. I always
Yeah,
forget.
Peppermint Patty, hey Chuck, it's like, but you gotta love it.
That's great. That's great. But yeah, all right. Let's begin our list.
Yeah.
I know. Okay. So yeah. So you suggested we'll do 10 each, and then
Yep.
9, then 8. Does
Yeah,
anybody have a number 11 spot? Because I have one, an honorable mention.
I do. I do too.
Joe, do you have one? Like a number 11?
Number 11, one I couldn't keep off. No, I
Okay.
stuck to the 10. It was very difficult. Yeah.
Okay. Cheech, go ahead. Quick, your honorable mention.
Watchers in the Sky off of Foxtrot.
That's sacrilegious, man. Yeah, put it back on the list. Are you crazy?
Well, I I would have 100. You know what I mean? It's like
That's
top
insane
10
how
is
that's
like,
off. Like that's in my
well,
top five.
I couldn't because I have so many other ones. And Watchers in the Sky, I just revisited
Yeah,
too.
Foxtrot.
So because I just did Foxtrot, I wrote the episode for it. So I listened to Watchers in the Sky a million times. So I love that song. So that's my 11. And I was debating, but I can't put it in my 9 and 10. I can't put it above it.
No, that sounds. I mean, I'm looking forward to hearing your list just because that's your honorable mention. That's crazy. Mine
Yeah.
is funny. Mine is "Bloody Well Right" by Supertramp, off their album "Crime of the Century."
Know
First
that
of all,
song.
Supertramp is underrated. They were actually Prague.
They were, yeah,
Before they blew up with Breakfast in America, which I love because of my dad. Like that album is like
yeah.
gospel to me. Like but yeah, if you guys ever heard listen to Bloody Well Right by
Oh, I know
Supertramp.
that song. Yeah, I
Very
grew up.
jazzy. They kind of combine that jazz prog stuff, which is fascinating. Like we were
Oh,
talking about
I
how
think any band that has a clarinet in their band is
no,
problems.
automatic. Automatic or a flute.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. Of course.
If they have a flute, automatic. You
Yeah.
guys are prog. But yeah, that's my number 11. All right. So
That's
I
a good
guess
one.
I guess we'll start with Joe, number 10.
Number 10. Have to get him on there, of course. The Flaming Lips from the Soft Bulletin album, which came out in 1999, they have a song called The Spark That Bled. And I just think it's a fantastic song. It can make me cry at times, but I tried to read up on it about what makes it prog, and it's kind of a fusion of psychedelic pop and art rock and experimental sounds. And it's proggy because of layered soundscapes that build a complex sonic world. So
Yeah, that sounds
that pretty
right.
much captures it, I think, the way I listen to it. What I found interesting is that I was on YouTube and I saw that there was another podcast with a man and a woman, and they actually chose that song to hear for the first time and give their impression of it. And I like totally disagreed with them on some of it, especially the part where they said they felt that the song had no structure. I think it has structure. It just has four sections. For example, it starts off as with a quiet vocal beginning, then it goes to an orchestral section, which is lush with complex arrangements, which is very proggy. And then section 3 emphasizes a great drummer named Stephen Drozd. He's actually a multi-instrumentalist. He's really the creative mind of the Flaming Lips, and he plays the drums on the studio recordings. And his drums are just so fantastic and lifts the whole song to another level. And then the fourth section actually goes back to the quieter vocal beginning, and they do repeat the verse, and then the song ends. But I just love that song so much. It seems to ascend where it starts off quiet and then it just keeps picking up. In fact, if anybody were to go on YouTube, they did a live at Red Rocks album with the Colorado Symphony Orchestra and a choir, and they just take it to like the stratosphere. It was incredible. So that's it. The Spark That Bled. I just love that song. It's just Wayne Coyne and Stephen Draws at their most creative.
Awesome. I
What's
gotta listen
yours?
to that.
Oh yes, you have to listen to
Yeah,
that.
I
Yeah,
definitely
Cheech.
do.
Yeah, we gotta listen to the soft bulletin, right? Right, Joe?
The soft bulletin. Yeah.
Right, and I think that's a. I seen lists that they consider that one of their best records, and also greatest of the time, like greatest of all time. So it's an
Yeah.
achievement.
It's interesting because when I talk to people about the Flaming Lips, a lot of my friends have never heard of them. I don't know if you guys have really heard of them or listened to them. And
I always knew them. I always knew who they were, and I knew some of their songs. I know they were on
I
MTV.
I knew, you know how I knew them? They did a tribute, and I remember Wayne Corey, Rory, the singer.
Wayne Coyne, he's the front
So
man and
Wayne
singer.
Coyne. So he, and I'm pretty sure they did this weird trip, not weird, but they did a tribute to The Who, and he covered Pinball Wizard, and he's playing, and I was like, who is this guy? And he had gray hair, so, and then you know, really curly and all that. So I was like, and then they were saying the Flaming Lips. I was like, who? And then it's funny. I tried listening to, and again, I didn't. This was back when I was an amateur. I tried listening to their music, but I was like, I was like, what is this? Like, I couldn't. I thought they would be like the Who, because they were really rocking. They did this weird special. I think it was for VH1 Classic, a Who tribute, way back. I don't even know. And I don't even know when they recorded it. I'm
I
gonna see if I.
remember it. I think it was on the VH1 Honors, and they were honoring the Who.
Oh, there we
And
go.
yeah, yeah, Wayne came out and did the thing. Yeah, it was very good. But I like the fact that I kind of like a band that a lot of people don't know about because it's so easy to like bands like the Beatles and Zeppelin and
Yeah.
the Who and Rolling Stones, of course.
Yeah,
Um,
but
but
they are a legendary band, underground. They're definitely known.
Yeah, just based on what I'm reading about them.
they've been around since 1983. I'm only 4 months older than Wayne Coyne. We're like this almost the same age, and he's still out there with unbelievable enthusiasm, performing. In fact, if you guys want to go on a road trip, they're going to be performing New Year's Eve at the Anthem in Washington D.C. That's their big show to end the year. I'm just kidding about a road trip. I'm not going, but the tickets were like $90. I'm like, oh, it would be so much fun. I wish my son was still going to school down in DC. I would be there.
Yeah, $90 to see them. That's amazing.
That's a steal. I mean, yeah, that's
We won't even go there about ticket
yeah.
prices.
I know, I know. That's yeah, yeah. Oh, Joe, that's a good first pick. Cheech, go ahead, number 10.
Number 10, Long Distance Runaround off the Fragile album. Oh my God. So many reasons. I learned it on the bass and I studied the hell out of it and I learned I picked up
Dude,
so many
just the beginning.
amazing I picked up so many things from Chris Squire from this song. I played it in a band. Um, so just to talk about it, polyrhythmic verses where the drums are playing. I'm gonna get geeky here, proggy. 5/4 against 4/4. So the band's playing four, but Bruford is doing his classic 5/4. He's ahead of the beat. Chris Squire's bass line is insane on that. It's funky, it's melodic. It's
Dude, that bass line, dude. If I was a bass player and I heard that bass line, I'll
oh
give
my
up.
God.
What
The
the heck? That song, geez, that song is insane.
I
How
learned it. I learned it note for note, and the fingers. This part of it. Boo doo 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 doo. Doo. Your pink. You want to get your pinky strong. You want to get your pinky strong. Learn that song. And I made a lot of my students learn it. It's melodic. It's rhythmic. It's powerful. The bass is so loud in the mix. I think that's the greatest thing I love, and that has a lot to do with Eddie Oxford, the great engineer who also produced Emerson, Lake and Palmer. And the vocals are beautiful. It's amazing. I love the lyrics. The guitar work is amazing. The dynamics, how it goes from, really fast to really slow.
Mhm.
And then, it's a genius song. And then it goes into, this would be a part of it, the fish. I don't think I have the fish on here, but the fish it's a bass solo that with vocals that are in Sanskrit. It's a bass melody with bass harmonics, and whenever you hear that
Dude,
song,
only yes would do that. I'll be honest with you, like long distance turnaround.
yeah,
That song is I when I first heard it, I went into like act like bliss. I was like,
Mhm.
what is this? Like especially the way it begins.
I forgot the intro. That
And
intro is
then
beautiful. The way
and
that
then you
Steve
hear
Howe plays
no,
it.
and I wish I learned. You know how to play bass. So you know the magic. Like I'm like playing air bass. I'm like, yo, this is so good.
It's insane. It's
And
funky,
and
you
Up
know.
Fragile, which is a landmark album.
Yeah,
Like,
classic album. So that
dude,
that
that's a great pick
that's
too.
number 10. Yeah.
That's a great pick. So for me, number 10, gentlemen, I got Styx's Crystal Ball.
Oh
Like
my God. I that's
I
that
dude,
would
I
be
had to
number that should be on my list.
yo,
Oh my God.
Styx is funny. Like people forget. Joe, I think I mentioned this story. I saw them live. And I was like, wait a minute. I forgot they're Prague. Like, dude, front and center. And Crystal
North
Ball, I
American.
mean, dude, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Greg Lake influence. You hear
Huge,
it.
huge influence.
Oh, the finger picking, Tommy Shaw's vocals. I always say he's one of the most underrated singers.
There's so much emotion in that song.
Oh, just, the beginning. I wish the beginning was longer. That
Yeah.
that song, tears, and then it goes to the crystal ball, like
Huge, huge chorus.
huge chorus, like it's explosive. That album is amazing. I mean, that's my only Sticks songs on my list because otherwise, this is hard, but I had to put Sticks in there. It's top. Crystal
Yeah.
Sticks,
Brilliant, brilliant song. I
brilliant.
love it. Great pick.
All right, should we go like Joe, then you, then me? Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Mhm.
Joe, number 9.
Number 9, Still You Turn Me On by Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
There you go.
The Brain Salad Surgery album came out around 1973. It was a song totally written by Greg Lake. I love Greg Lake's voice. I think his singing voice
That's
should have been on every single ELP
Yeah, that's what
track.
Cheech said too. Yeah,
Yeah, there's something magnificent about his voice. It's magical. And then when in my Prague Bible, there's a section of who's the greatest. Me and Manny talked about this last night. I think we decided who the greatest Prague vocalist. We won't give it
don't
away,
give it
but
away. Yeah,
Greg Lake is definitely
he's up there. You know,
he is
you know
one of
what's
the
funny? Joe, Cheech was telling me he was the lead vocalist on in the Court of the Crimson King, and I couldn't believe it. At first I didn't believe you. I had to search it up. I'm like, wait, what? That is
yeah,
insane.
yeah,
Greg Lake is another level.
yeah. He's a genius. Greg Lake is a musical genius, overshadowed by Keith because
The keyboards, right? The playing.
Keith Emerson is the Jimi Hendrix of keyboards, but not that he's overshadowed. Every part fit equally. But when you think of Emerson, Lake and Palmer, you think of Keith.
And you know what's funny? You'll get a laugh out of this, Cheech. My dad thinks it's just Emerson in the band. Which, like
It's a
it's funny.
backup band.
It's
Yeah.
just really funny how Lake is not. I don't know. Imagine
He's
my
not just,
dad thinks that. Imagine
I
million others. Like,
yeah, I always get mad at the Poles, like bass
and by the
players
way,
and
forget about
singers.
Palmer. Palmer is not.
Well, no, Palmer was regarded as one of the greatest drummers because
It's a low joke, a low joke,
yeah.
but.
But like Neil talks about Palmer,
And like Joe's holding up the record. And that record album cover, yeah, that is an insane album cover. Like talk
yeah,
about it reminds me of the movie Alien. I don't know if you guys ever seen it, like that Ridley Scott movie. Like just the design. It's a
yeah,
weird,
it's
very
classic.
great album though. Yeah, it's among their classics.
Yeah,
But
they were on a roll, because
one
they
thing
did.
though,
Yeah,
they never released the song as a single because Carl Palmer does not play on it. And basically, they felt that the song did not represent the general sound of the band. So I might get some pushback that this particular song, as beautiful as it is, might not be prog because it's just a beautiful song. A song that when they performed it in concert, I think that's when Keith Emerson would take a break. I've seen YouTube videos of Greg Lake performing that song totally solo, just him and an acoustic guitar.
yeah, yeah. No, it's still prog to me because Greg Lake
Well,
is singing it, and he's one of the greatest prog singers of all time.
right. And Cheech and I talked about this where they were kind of like the early like soft rock because actually my next pick actually um is also an interesting And yeah, I will agree. It doesn't represent the progginess of the band, but I'll be honest with you, it's still prog because they're the ones playing it, and
Oh,
they were ahead of the game with the soft rock explosion.
they were, and it probably was played on soft rock. And I know Neil tells a story of when Rush made it big and they were playing their first stadium show. They're in the limousine, and that song came on. And in his book, I'll never forget this. Neil said that that's when he knew he made it, when he heard that song going into Madison Square Garden. Um, but here's the difference with Lucky Man. Lucky Man is just as beautiful, but at the end, it gets progged
Mm.
out
Hmm.
with that half time on the drums, and
Mm.
Keith's Moog is just out of this world on that. So
Mm.
that's the difference of an acoustic prog, you know.
Before we move on, I just wanted to give a plug to this album. I always liked it. Pictures at an exhibition
Oh yeah,
by
sure.
Nick Swirsky,
Ooh.
and it
Yep.
is just fantastic.
That's a live album, right?
It's a live album.
I have to listen to it.
Well, I
You
have a
should definitely see it.
story. I have a story about when we get to my Emerson, Lake and Palmer pick, I have a story about the classical musicians that inspired them. Remind me to tell that story.
Yeah, yeah. No, but
So
that's a good pick, Joe. Definitely Prague because it comes out of their hands. And I think we said just one thing that a lot of these bands will end up they're so up in space, but then when they come down, they make insane songs. Like I think that's an example where
and ELP was on such
accessible.
a they were on such a roll. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Tarkus, Brain Salad
Hmm.
Surgery. I mean, three in a row that just destroyed, man.
Yeah.
They took Prague in that 1970 to 73 period. They took Prague to a new level,
Hmm.
with Yes as well. Those are the two, they're side by side of making it to the masses.
No, that's a good pick. Wait, geez, let me go because it's funny. My pick, just throwing it out there, my pick is Emerson, Lake and Palmer from the beginning too. And the reason why, and again, it's their least proggy song. Like it sounds like a soft rock. It sounds like something America would make.
Yeah.
But the reason why it's in my list, my dad, he was the one. That was the first song that he taught me from that band,
Wow.
and he was singing it. And I was like, Dad, what is that song? And I searched it up, and I'm like, whoa! It's like
Yeah.
that nice. It's a peaceful song, like din 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 bam down bam from the beginning, like, and I think that's
Yeah.
Greg's Lake's voice, guys,
Oh, yeah, it's all Greg Lake.
and it's
And
great.
and the thing about why they were radio friendly was Lucky Man, Still You Turn Me On, and From the Beginning.
Yeah,
Those are what
yeah.
sold.
Eh,
And then they could put on Carnival Nine,
right.
fanfare for the common
No,
man and stuff like that.
no, and it's crazy because I will say that is not even my favorite Emerson, Lake and Palmer song. The only reason why I add is because I have to put it because it's like my dad's song, and I have to, if it wasn't for that song, I would not discover Emerson, Lake and Palmer. But if anything, like for example, The Sheriff, I love that song. Like
Yeah.
talk about prog, like it's insane. And
Oh
then
yeah.
ends and the conclusion has like a nice kind of like cowboy like theme at the end. Like they were,
Well, they got a song called Hoedown. You know
yep,
Hoedown?
yep, yep.
Yeah. I mean,
Like
it's like
they were talk about art rock. Like they were,
they were doing it all. I mean, there was a period probably in 2011. I listened to Emerson, Lake and Palmer for 1 year. I didn't listen to nothing fucking else but Emerson, Lake and Palmer. For like Christmas, I got like those three albums I mentioned, and I was like, I don't need to listen to anything else. Imagine the guys in my band because I was trying to play like Keith Emerson on the bass. I was like, I'm taking Emerson line. I'm listening to his bass lines and I'm playing it, and they're like, "What's
man's
wrong
like,
with
what the what time signature you in right now?
you?" Yeah.
All right,
So
Chief, you're number nine.
once again, yes, which I'm torn between two songs on my list that are the greatest prog radio songs.
I'm shocked. Yes, is that low on your list?
Ah,
That's insane. Because Yes is in my one Yes song in my top five.
I mean, it's so hard. And Yes is one of my favorite bands. But I will say this is tied, and I want you guys to decide on if this is the greatest radio prog song or the other one I picked. Roundabout.
Mm.
Roundabout is one of the greatest radio-friendly
Hmm.
prog songs. And it is as proggy as it gets. I don't think it can get more
Yeah.
proggier than that. Um, so the intro, again, Steve Howe, they have a formula here.
Hmm.
Steve Howe does that.
Oh, dude, that's like musical ecstasy.
Great funky bass line. The great next to I don't know if long distance run around and roundabout, what's a better mix? They're both equal. They're the
They're
greatest.
both. It's hard.
Yeah,
One is definitely weirder than the other one. I think
yeah.
you know which one but Roundabout is just really, it's weird. I think you and I talked about this, how I think it's so strange how it became a radio staple because the song is,
Yeah.
it's long,
It
it's
it's
strange.
it's long. It has the bass is so loud in the mix. Steve Howe's amazing opening riff. Then it has a great organ solo in
Oh,
that middle section when they're singing over in the roundabout. The vocals are beautiful.
John, yeah,
And
he kills it.
then the ending makes the whole song. Bow no no no, bow do do do, bow 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 bow,
Oh,
ba-da-da.
dude, that's like that joins the ranks of iconic moments in songs like Fleetwood Mac's The Chain, when like the
Yeah.
boom 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 then like that, the one that you just mentioned, that's, dude, that's like,
And if you listen to the
yeah,
percussion. It's
bam
go.
bam 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 like,
There's
dude.
insane percussion and harmony going over it. And this
Eh,
is like
no,
an
and then
8 minute
no,
song.
and then after that, bring din 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 din, like,
And it
and then
ends.
the ending, din 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 din, bring, like,
Genius.
what a composition. Like,
So,
I'm actually, that's a shame it's that low, man.
well, you'll hear my list and you tell me what you think. But you, at the end of the show, or when I get to my other song, you got to decide for me what's is that the number? Because radio, I think that's a better song than Long Distance Runaround for
Mm.
radio.
Yep, yep.
You know, so that's my number nine. So, Joe,
Johnny, comments? What do you think, man?
Roundabout is their song the way that like Born in the USA is Springsteen's song, or Stairway to Heaven is
I love
Zeppelin's
that.
song,
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a good,
Satisfaction
good.
is Stone's song.
yeah,
I've heard it so many times, that it kind of loses its luster a bit.
yep,
I should take 6 months off and
yep.
then, and then come back and listen to it.
Well, a Led Zeppelin plugin. That's my problem with Kashmir. But that song is amazing. But I'm so over it because I've heard it so many times. Because it's like, oh, all right. Or even Stairway to Heaven. Sadly, even though, but I have to sometimes really like not judge it by how many times I listen to it and like remind myself, no, this song is a,
Until it gets to the guitar solo, then you're like, yeah,
yeah,
nah.
damn.
Then you're like, yeah, I know, I get it now. I'm
It
never
was
sick of it, I can't get sick of it. The guitar solo is just that.
it
And
was
then
fun
the
to see
down
John
out.
Anderson do it live at the Capitol Theater with the band geeks, because they kept Roundabout for towards the end of the show. And I remember during the instrumental break, John Anderson actually went to the back of the stage, and you could see him dancing with his wife off the stage at
Wow.
the back. It was kind of cool. And I was thinking, he's got to have to run out there and get back to the mic stand pretty quick, because I'm like, I think he's dancing too long. He's got to run back to the stand, but he made it. It was pretty funny.
It's
He
awesome.
knows he's 80 years old now,
God.
Oh man.
very fit,
But
sang great.
I got to give props once again going to the Christmas special. Eddie Oxford or Oxford. I always say his name
Hey,
wrong.
Oxford.
Oxford, the engineer. He's the guy that made everything happen. The magic of that production is from Eddie Oxford. The bass sound alone, the
Yeah, that
guitar tone, the
legendary
vocal.
bass tone.
He's their Terry Brown. He's the ultimate prog producer.
Hmm.
He's the guy. He produced all the greats and Rory Gallagher as well. So, but anyway,
That's a good pick.
just
All
to.
all right, on to number eight, right, guys? I'm just keeping track here. Number eight.
Mhm.
Hey, Joe, go ahead. Number eight.
Minstrel in the Gallery by Jethro Tull, 1975. Always loved that album, always loved that song. I consider it a concept album using a minstrel and analogy. And it was very progressive, influenced hard rock with long instrumental passages. I never get tired of hearing the song. It has elements of British folk and pre Elizabethan sounds. And Ian Anderson, what more can you say? I should have given him more consideration for being such a great front man. But, I seem to
Mm.
take him for granted, but he is so good.
Yeah,
And Martin Garay on electric guitar, so recognizable on so many great Tull tunes, and
yeah,
Barrymore Barlow on drums. Those are the three guys in Tull that I always liked. And
amazing, man.
yeah, I mean Barrymore Barlow, after leaving Tull, actually recorded with Robert Plant on Robert Plant's solo album,
Oh wow,
and for a short minute he was on the list, the short list, to be a drummer if Zeppelin were to reform.
wow, that would have been interesting.
I can hear that.
Hmm.
Nah,
So
Jethro Tull. I think that's an interesting pick. It's funny because I kind of forgot about that album. Now I got to go listen to it.
what's funny is I had the album and now it's gone. And I'm like, is this one of those things where somebody borrowed it from me in college? And
Maybe, right?
Oh
because what
man.
I have is Bursting Out. I have the live version. I
Oh
used to buy a
wow.
lot of live albums when I was younger.
Wow,
And
that's bursting out.
Bursting Out.
I'm like looking at my notes here in that album. Oh.
I always thought it was cheating because if I got hooked on a band and it's like, oh, they had like 4 or 5 albums out before that, I would buy the live album because in a way, it's like getting the greatest hits.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But at the same time, they really remix a lot of this stuff in the studio. Like you have no idea how disappointed I was when I learned that the Kiss Alive album, the first one, is
Yeah.
basically totally reworked and destroyed.
Well, Cheech and I talked about this. There are a few rare cases where the album is actual 100% live, and we have to make an obligatory Rush reference. All the World's Stage is live.
completely live. Yeah, no, no.
Sadly,
Yeah,
by Exit Stage Left, they're already doing some studio,
yeah.
overdubs and kisses. Yeah, that one's notorious. A
And
live.
Humble Pie, live at the Fillmore. You hear mistakes and everything,
Yeah,
and that's a
yeah.
live album.
That's
It
yeah,
is what it
yeah.
is,
But it's very
Now with
rare when you get a live album. Uh,
yeah, well with Jethro Tull, one of the complaints about them was that they played the song note for note exactly like the album.
Rush got the same complaint too.
But that's
Yeah,
what prog is. That's what prog is. There's no derivative. You can't change it. It's not like Zeppelin or Purple where you could break away from the structure. Prog is, you see a prog band and you're like, oh my God, that's just like the album. That's my opinion on it. I think,
yeah.
that's a great prog band that does that.
Well, the Zeppelin guys used to complain about Jethro Tull because they used to tour together,
Yeah.
saying that even the banter, even what Ian Anderson would say to the crowd was scripted. Everything was scripted,
Yeah.
and it was the same night after night. Whereas with Zeppelin, they would leave that structure and they would go off and improvise. Sometimes it didn't work out too well, and Robert Plant
Yeah.
will admit that. There were nights when some of the scat singing is kind of cringy.
And that's beautiful though, because
Yeah.
that's what it's about.
Well,
That's,
and I
that's a
will say,
live
Cheech.
band.
No, and I agree with Cheech with the prog thing. Where because Rush got that same criticism where but you could do it with the blues, but I feel like with prog it's kind of really difficult,
Yeah. Prog is like
especially
jazz. You can't fake it. Classical too. Like you
no,
can't you can't do, a derivative on a Beethoven piece. It's got to
no.
be played note for note.
And especially when you're messing with time signatures, I mean,
Oh
everything has to be
yeah.
tight.
And the pressure you're under. I was in a prog band and I didn't enjoy it because like I'm more of the school of Zeppelin and I blend in prog elements. Like Steve
Mm.
Harris said it. Steve Harris said he would never want to be in a prog band, but you have to have prog elements in the song. So you'd be playing your song, and when a prog part comes, you're ready. When you're in a prog band, you have to be on your toes every second, every 3 seconds.
Mm.
I was in a prog band, Cerberus, and it was fun and it was great, but I was nervous, man. I was so nervous that you don't enjoy the performance because everything has to be perfect.
And then that would make sense with Joe's thing with how um I'm blanking out. What's the lead singer, Jethro Tull? Anderson, Ian Anderson.
Yeah,
That's why he has everything scripted and stuff. I think for that reason, because
yeah,
otherwise he would go nuts because
yeah.
his music is complex. I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but that would make sense. But that's a good pick. Now I'm also gonna listen to the album. Steve Wilson is the guy, Cheech. Steve Wilson, that guy, that British guy. He remixed a lot of Jethro Tull's albums, which is interesting.
Oh wow, that's
Um,
awesome.
Cheech, numero ocho.
Okay, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, the first album, the Barbarian. Now, why I like this, I have a couple sentimental reasons, but the first is it opens up with probably the greatest bass sound ever. A distorted, fuzzed out bass. Greg Lake just destroys it, man. Oh my God. And it's over this dissonant keyboard solo. Um, and then there's crazy fast drums. And then they go then the bass and the keyboards are trading off. Then he goes to regular piano, which is nice, and he gets a very jazz classical feel. Then he goes back into the intro theme, and it ends with crazy drum hits. And I think that's where Bite and the Snow Dog comes from. This song,
Wait, what's the song, Cheech?
The Barbarian,
Off what album?
off of the first ELP.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And the two
Oh
stories I
yeah,
have,
oh yeah. That's an insane pick.
the first story is I would play it, and my daughter Zoe would just go nuts when she heard it. Like as a little kid, as a 2-year-old, run around the house, jump up and down, only to that song. I'm like, what the hell, you know? And it's a Bella Bartok song. They took a 1911 piano piece by Bella Bartok, 20th century composer, and they made it into a heavy metal. It's considered heavy metal progressive rock song. So this might be the first, next to King Crimson, obviously, metalized kind of song. And they pulled the Zeppelin, Bella Bartok, who they probably thought like, who's thinking of Bella Bartok? This is 1911. Nobody gives a shit about Bella Bartok. The family sued Emerson, Lake and Palmer for doing this. So with like pictures at an exposition, they did the same thing with Migzorski,
Hmm.
who, if you don't know Migzorski, he was Frank Zappa like the 20th century music. Like Zappa definitely was inspired by him. So they did that a lot, and that's what makes them unique. Where they take classical music and they rockify it like nobody. So
Sounds fantastic.
listen to the Barbarian, and listen to the bass line. Oh,
Mm. I love how you said that they pulled from classical music elements, which is another prog rock staple and element, which
good out of it. Yes.
Beatles started to do it, and then they took it to the next level, with
Yeah,
pulling
they
all.
actually took a classical Bela Bartok piece and took the piece and rockified it into
Mhm.
this
It's,
insanity.
it's genius. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, yeah. And they put overtones of like what a barbarian is through art. You know, they use music to describe what a barbarian is in the tones of the music. And that's something Debussy did with tone clusters and all these kind of classical 20th century technique to describe something with sound.
Mm.
So, sound sculpting.
Yeah. Dude, good pick, man.
In a good way, not sound sculpting now.
No, that's a good pick. All right, my number eight is okay. It was versus. I don't know what you guys think. It was either "Shine On You Crazy Diamond," both parts,
Wow.
or "Dogs" by Pink Floyd. I'm by and both really mean a lot to me. Like, especially "Shine On You Crazy Diamond," especially because it bookends "Wish You Were Here." So "Wish You Were Here" is technically it's a short album. It's like bookended by "Shine On You Crazy Diamond" and then those three tracks. But those pieces that "Shine On You Crazy Diamond" should be together, and together it forms this epic. Um, it's like prog of emotion. Like it's so emotional. It's a tribute to Sid Barrett. or it was gonna be Dogs off Pink Floyd's Animals, 17-minute monster, beautiful. Like David Gilmour's his guitar playing is on full effect, and has the vocals by Gilmour are amazing. The band playing, like Roger's lyrics are dark. He compares humans to dogs who go hunt the sheep, and sheep are the suckers. Like the whole album is anti-capitalism, one song he has pigs on the wing, where he compares three types of businessmen as pigs. Dogs do the violent work, like so they would be like the ASTLs up in the temple.
Or the owner of
So
the
the
temple,
owner, the
the
owner would
guy.
be we're the sheep, owners are pigs, and then the priests are the dogs, where they go
That
out
makes so much sense. It makes
viciously,
complete
just
sense.
do they tear us apart. Anyway, but dogs is
But he was aiming at the record industry.
well, what's funny? It's a mystery because he was aiming at a lot of things, and the fact that he took George Orwell's concept in Animal Farm. But
Yes.
but a lot of people think like the album is that, but in actuality, he's taken a stab at. It's sort of similar to Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol. Well, Christmas Carol's a jab at businessman, and
Yeah.
and so like that. Animals does the same thing. But yeah, you could argue it's also the record industry, but they already did that on Money. So I don't think
Right.
no.
Yeah.
I think Roger Waters was looking at something more deeper, and he was taking a jab at capitalism because Roger Waters is anti-capitalist, but it's kind of funny because he became one of the biggest acts of all time. So
Yeah.
that's funny.
250 million albums. So not,
Yeah. So again, in my number eight spot, I think I would lean heavily on Dogs, only because I love the acoustic strumming. Gilmore has insane solos. His singing of Rogers' lyrics is so good. I feel like that's such an underrated song. Um, and it's a dark masterpiece and the crown jewel of the Animals album. I would have also gone with Sheep. I love that song. Um, but Dogs, because I just feel like and just the fact that it's called Dogs, I think it's kind of funny.
yeah.
Yeah. Or Shine On You Crazy Diamond, depending on the day. But I think number eight, we'll go with Dogs.
Okay.
We gotta have a Pink Floyd up there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, Joe. Numero siete, seven.
All right, this one is going to be controversial. It's worth a little bit of discussion. But I selected Tomorrow Never Knows from the
That
Beatles Revolver album, 1966. And it's really out there. Experimental production using tape loops, backward sounds, Indian drones. There's no conventional pop structure to this song. The Beatles, I think, went somewhere in 1966 that I don't know if anyone else had gone to, where they were using the studio as an instrument and experimentation.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe it's another one of those prog rock adjacent type things, but it could be considered psychedelic. But I think there are prog elements in the song Tomorrow Never Knows. The drumming is unbelievable
Yeah.
and really drives the
Yeah.
song. And then they also played around with Lennon's voice, made it sound kind of otherworldly, ethereal.
and do they took lyrics from the Tibetan Book of the Dead, which is
Yeah.
so out there. I honestly, I'll be honest with you, I was debating. That's a great pick, Joe. Um so you went back to the prehistoric stuff before prog was a thing. The Beatles kind of Cheech and I talked about this. Sergeant Pepper's a prog record. Like, dude, they invented the concept
The
album.
Beatles invented Prague.
Yeah,
Holy.
unknowingly, and I think Joe's pick is good. Tomorrow Never
And
Knows is good.
just by you saying the Tibetan Book of the Dead,
Oh,
who
it's
puts
over.
that in the lyrics? That's
Dude.
Prague at its
A-
best.
And that song is spooky. Like I love that. I love Tomorrow Never Knows. But first of all, what an interesting choice to conclude Revolver. Um, it's spooky. It's just like so dissonant. We talked about this, how one of the things that prog does is like sometimes like the way the chord sequencing instruction. Now, I'm not a musician, but it's just strange. So when you listen to it, you're like, what am I listening? It's not, it's not easy listening. And I think that's a good pick. But at the same time, like for those that love music, you're gonna love Tomorrow Never Knows. Like the
Yeah.
drum, I love how the drumming, Ringo Starr's drumming on that track, and also another one, prog drumming is Rain, the song Rain.
And baseline. Oh my God.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, like that, they were prog before.
And why is Rain a B side though?
That's a
That's
that should have
I
gone.
mean,
That should
that's
have
my
gone on Revolver.
I might be honest, that's my favorite. Next to Come Together, that's one of my favorite Beatles bass
Yes,
lines. You
that's
know,
so.
like I mean, it's insane.
Yep. And going back to Tomorrow Never Knows, just a dun 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 dun, like it's so kind of like droning. Like it, I feel like there's an Indian influence on that song too, which is fascinating. Um, or
I
some
mean,
sort of like weird influence on it, which
I, I also think the Beatles invented prog, and we also cited the Beatles for inventing heavy metal on Helter Skelter.
they
I
invented
mean,
all, and they invented Baroque rock.
yeah,
Baroque
yeah.
pop. They were, dude, Beatles. That's why, it's not, I always view them as the greatest band. There's no comparison.
No, there's no better
No,
band better than the Beatles.
no.
They
And it's
started
funny
it.
because Sid Barrett and Pink Floyd were trying to copy the Beatles in a way, but adding
Yeah.
more psychedelic freakouts, with their at the Piper at the Gates of Dawn album, which if anything, they were probably influenced by Tomorrow Never Knows with the weirdness.
Oh, the most definitely on that album. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good pick, Joe. You went back.
Yeah,
The
it was a real
prehistoric.
departure for the Beatles because it didn't have a conventional pop structure of
No,
verse, chorus, verse. There was
no,
no rhyming structure to the lyrics. It was a
no.
real departure.
It's
Thanks to
it,
John Lennon. It was the first song they worked on in the album and in the studio and got that done, but it ended up being the last song on side two of the album.
and like you had a good point. In Prague, there's no verse, chorus,
That
verse.
that
It's a puzzle. They screw it
that's
all up for you.
that is a great point. Yeah, yeah. Prague, that's what makes Prague Prague. And for Prague lovers, that's what we love about it. We don't it's not it's not it's and that's what I mean, like it's not accessible. And
Yeah.
I get it. I get it because it's not like, when you listen to a Mozart piece, you listen to 9 minutes, you're like, all right,
Well,
where
in classical music, there's a form. In a
also there's still a form. So I wouldn't know that.
sonata allegro,
But
there's
Cheech,
an
most
A,
people
B,
don't
A.
know that. But most people don't know that.
Or if you look at jazz, like a jazz standard, I don't know, let's just say Autumn Leaves, for instance, it's a formula, A, B, A. A is the verse, you go back, B, the second A is the verse, the B is, the bridge, and then you go ending on the A. So
Mhm.
there, and then there's A, B, A, and other jazz. This is just me being a geek theory guy. But in music, there's form. Uh, in Prague, there's no form goes out the window.
And it
You
gets
know,
and it gets worse with the avant-garde, where they just throw
Oh
everything out there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's no form, which is
No.
great. I love that. There's times I've been in bands. We're talking about like Visions, where the guitar player and me would go out and would say, "Well, what do you want to do?" He's like, "I don't know, just play something in E." Okay, and then I would open the set in front of a lot of people just with a groove in E, and we would just jam for 10 minutes, and then we go into our set, and then people would come up to us and go, dude, what was that opening song? I'm like, I don't know. We just improv'd it. And I'm like, I hope somebody recorded it because shit was awesome.
No, but that's a good pick, Joe. That's a good pick. Cheech, número siete. What you got?
Okay, now this is where I want you guys' opinion. I want you to be honest. One of the greatest radio friendly prog songs, next to Roundabout, they're tied. Carry On Wayward Son by
From
Kansas.
Kansas.
I love Kansas. Manny knows how much I love
Yeah,
Kansas.
yeah.
It has that opening vocal harmony that just you hear it and you just get taken away. Then it comes in with that iconic riff.
Yeah, talk about that.
Then it goes into a guitar solo. And there's a ripping guitar solo
Yeah.
over that. Yeah, yeah.
Like,
And then it mellows out. It goes, ah. And then the piano comes in, and then they start to sing. Then the bass comes in rhythmic. almost Chris Squire-ish,
Mm-hmm.
has that thick tone. Um, then it repeats the same kind of, formula. Then it goes back to that the best bridge in any song. Bow, 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 now, out, bow, out, down, down, and then it goes back into the verse and the chorus.
And then
You
the
know,
outro, carry on, you're nobody. Like, dude, that guy's
yeah,
vocals are so good.
I know.
And the song's emotional. There was one point where I'm listening to it. I don't know, like I was about to tear up and I didn't know why. Like, why was this song
Yeah,
is
it
it's
hits you.
great.
It hits you hard. And I think it's 7 or 8 minutes long. It's
It's
as
yeah,
long as the roundabout.
it's a mini epic.
Yeah. And I'm torn between Roundabout and that as the greatest commercial radio prog song. I don't know what you guys how you feel. I can't pick. I can't. If I was to pick, I might say that song. I would go over Roundabout. Manny, how do you feel?
I'm gonna go yes, roundabout. Because
Roundabout?
I feel like that's I live don't dude, don't get me wrong. I love that pick. And Prague, American Prague at its finest. I think
Yeah.
it's only beaten by Styx in my opinion, but that mini epic, but it's funny, but at the same time it sounds like arena rock. Like it sounds like what's gonna come in like Boston,
But
like
it's the beginning of Arena Rock because it came
yes.
out the same year Boston. I left the Overture came out in
No,
'76.
and it's great
Yeah,
because it's so popular, man. Like, and
yeah,
people don't know it's Prague. Like,
yeah, yeah.
it's the theme
But
song
what?
also of a show. It's the theme song of a show. I think it's called Supernatural. There's a show.
Oh, Supernatural had so many great songs. They had Asia on
Now,
there.
now, now, was the theme song "Carry On My Wayward Son"? I think it
I
was.
don't remember, but I remember being impressed by the
So
soundtrack.
it's kind of funny because do you remember there was a certain girl that used to work at the temple, Ide? Do you remember
Yeah,
her?
yeah, I remember her.
So
Yeah,
I don't think she would watch this episode, but shout out to her if you made it this far. She knew that song because of that show. And I
yeah,
was like, "Do you know who made that song? Like, do you know?" Like, giving her like, obviously she looked at me with the two heads, but yeah, it's like like a lot of
yeah,
young people knew that song. And
yeah.
like,
That was a great show too, by the way.
yeah, well, they tracked down like it's kind of similar to like the X-Files, right? Like it's
Yeah, yeah, it
I
was
think it's
cool.
two brothers, right, or something like that. Two,
Two brothers, and they had some ability to like talk to dead
not to go
people.
on this tangent, but
Yeah, there's ghosts, and it's just a crazy show. It was early, maybe mid 2000s, something like that.
yeah, dude, that's a hard man between those two. I don't know, like that's hard. I'm gonna say roundabout,
Okay.
uh, only because to keep it on the English side of things, but since progressive rock is quite English, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's hard. Both
Right.
are.
It's a tough one because they're both beautiful and brilliant and musical masterpiece pieces. Joe, your opinion?
I'm going to go with Kansas. Carry on, Wayward Son.
All
Yeah,
right.
because I was around 15, 16 years old when it was first played on the radio.
There we go.
Right.
It was so fresh. It was like 7 songs in one. Yeah,
Yeah.
the radio stations would play the whole thing, and it was just so great. And that was the time of Kansas and Styx and a young Toto,
Oh
Boston.
yeah, yeah,
Who am I
Toto.
forgetting? Unfortunately, and Journey was coming
Yeah.
onto
Yep,
the scene
yep.
around then.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there was like a backlash because they were so radio friendly. I guess they started to call it corporate rock.
That's that, Joe. That's the point I was making. Cheech, that's the point I'm making
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I can kind of hear it, but the only thing is that they kind of invented it. So it's like I
Yeah.
don't know. See, yes versus yes, yes. It, that's what's so strange about Roundabout because the song should not. My opinion, it's like there's too many things going on. But Kansas perfected that with Carry On My Wayward Son
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it sounds like corporate rock albums
When
that
you listen to Left Overture, it sounds like Fragile. I mean, there is some heavy duty prog on
Mhm.
that album.
Yeah.
So,
And by the way, that
obviously,
song opens up the album, Carry
yeah,
On My Wayward Son. So we're off to a bang.
that song is radio friendly, and I think it's I think it's a perfect song for me because it has everything I look for in a song: catchy melody, amazing bass line,
Mm.
amazing riffs, odd time signature. It's proggy. Um, it's what Rush did. Rush followed that template with like Free Will, for instance. Tom Sawyer, and this is when Rush was doing 2112, so they're on the same thing. But Rush was not popular on the radio at all yet. Rush was just coming up in
Hmm.
America.
Hmm. You're
And Rush
right. Yeah, that would be the
Rush would have
template.
gotten played on the radio in '77 with "Closer to the Heart," and it's completely different because that's a pop song.
Right.
That's just a great
Oh, that's a
rock song.
straight up pop rock song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's musical elements in it. The bass line is sick, but it's not a pop song like, I don't know, Madonna, but it's a pop rock song, and it's
Well,
beautiful.
of the time, it's pop because that
Yeah,
was what
true,
the radio
true.
was, you know?
Yeah, it is true. Yeah, yeah.
Nah, dude, that's a good pick. Excellent.
Thank you.
Dude, mine gonna bring it to Jethro Tull. I got one of my favorites. This was the song. Actually, it's very similar to uh some of your picks too. It's kind of funny. Hymn 43 off Aqualung. Now, I could have picked
Great song.
Aqualung, because I mean, talk about movements. I mean, that song is just fantastic.
Yeah.
Um, but I have to go. I love, religious themes and religion, and this song, dude, just the whole song is perfect. Aqualung is a concept album about a homeless man, right? So, and then he's even on the cover. And this one, dude, everything, guitar playing, vocals,
The
dude,
riff is classic.
dude, the piano line that starts it off, and Anderson's voice is so good, so biting, our Father high in heaven, and then, like, dude, that song. And then I love when he says, "Oh Jesus, save me."
Down,
It's
down,
just,
down, down, down,
dude,
down.
like, if Jesus saves, like, he has that great.
Oh yeah.
This won me over Anderson, and it's funny because I knew the whole album is a masterpiece. And by the way, later on, we're gonna get a more proggier pick, but I think Cheech right knows what I'm gonna pick. But I have to give shout out to him 43, touching on religious themes. It's part of the concept as well with the Aqualung, um, and Anderson and the guitar riff and early Rush template. Like, it's kind of funny. I would want to ask Rush, like Geddy Lee or Alex, was like Jethro Tull an influence? And I think you probably don't have to say the answer. I think
Oh yeah.
it's there, especially him 43. Kind of reminds me also of like Jesus Christ Superstar, which is like
Yeah.
I feel like that's a prog musical as
And
well.
and Maiden heavily influenced by Tull.
Well, you hear it, and I love the lyrics are amazing. Like, I feel like that song is a crown jewel off that album, and Anderson attacking though, he's biting, he's attacking God. I feel like that's such a froggy
And
thing.
here's a trivia question. What famous legendary guitar player did one gig with Jethro Tull because he quit his band?
I know this.
What is it?
Tony Iommi.
Yep.
Really?
He
That's
could have
And
had a
what
job with Tull.
what show did he play?
why is that?
He played a television show.
He did.
It's
The
on YouTube.
Rock and Roll Circus.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was just quit. He got an offer to join Tull, and according to Tony in his book, Ian Anderson is a dick,
I heard about that. Yeah, like,
and
he's
he couldn't
very.
work with them. Now, Tony, when you get a genius, when you get two geniuses, Ian Anderson is a fucking musical genius. We don't even have to say anything about Tony Iommi.
uh,
He's
and just
the
had
genius.
Anderson, flute player.
Yeah.
Gabriel.
Tony Iommi is one of the biggest geniuses in
Yep.
heavy metal of all time. You can't have two geniuses work together. If
No,
Mozart and Beethoven hung out and they wrote something together, it wouldn't
no,
work.
no.
It wouldn't
And
work out.
Anderson, I feel like Anderson is Jethro Tull, so that's hard.
Yeah. And Tony Iommi is Black Sabbath, so
Mhm.
it can't really work. But he's
And
in.
different sensibilities because he's more from, like, Birmingham, like, factory, and I think Anderson is more of the highbrow culture.
Good point. And they were both heavy though. They
Yep,
both had that
yep,
heaviness,
yep,
so
yep. But that's mine. That's my number seven. And
that's
then
a
we're
great
we're
one.
we're gonna get froggier for my list pretty soon. Like, really, we're gonna hear those keyboards. But yeah, all right. Joe, number six, numero seis.
This one I think will be the most fun to talk about. I don't know, Manny, if you know the song, but I know that Cheech does. It came out in 1971, and it is called Hocus Pocus by
By
Focus.
Focus. Yep. Oh yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Let me see.
Uh,
I'm just gonna write it for my notes. Hocus Pocus.
Oh, you'll love it, Manny. You'll love it.
I was reading comments about the song from just people like us. And it's like there were people saying, I wish I could have the feeling of hearing that song for the first time again. It was so joyous.
And it's
It
off
has
there.
no lyrics.
Yo, you know what's crazy about this? Okay, what a weird thing. All right, it's off their album Morning Waves, right?
Yep.
Okay, they have a song Eruption. Do
Okay.
you guys
I'm
know the
not.
song?
I
Okay,
always knew them as a one-hit wonder almost.
one of my favorite Argentinian guitarists sampled Eruption. So now I need to listen to his album. That's a
Wow.
sign. Hocus
The thing
Pocus.
about the thing about Focus is they're not. They had a lot of other good songs that had their album, but they're known as a one-hit wonder. That's why they never broke in the
But you know
prog
it's
world.
crazy, but it's funny how Joe picked this because by the way, shout out the guitarist name is I think I showed you videos, Cheech, Gustavo
Yeah,
Cerati.
yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing.
He sampled for his solo album called Boca Nada. He sampled Eruption for one of the tracks,
Yeah.
so he knows his music. So yeah, you're right. I feel like I could see how you're saying it's a one hit wonder, but those that love music probably know this
Yeah, and Joe,
album.
correct me on this one. This was on the radio all the time because I learned of this song on the radio as a kid.
Heavy rotation. It's kind of a niche song, kind of like Edgar Winter's Frankenstein.
Exactly. Good call. Good compar. That's a great comparison.
Yeah. What's interesting about Hocus Pocus by Focus is there are no lyrics, but there's yodeling, scat singing, and whistling.
Yeah.
And there's also flute in the tradition of
Exactly.
Peter
Yeah, yeah.
Gabriel and Ian Anderson.
Yeah.
Those are all prog elements to
Oh,
the
this
front.
is a really good prog one.
Here's
That's a good one.
here's what made me laugh reading about the song, doing a little bit of research, is that unbelievably, when they would play this song live, they did it faster. How? It's
And
already so
oh
urgent
my
and fast.
God, I remember learning the riff with Seance. It's heavy metal. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-da, down, down, down. It has that heavy rock distorted guitar. What year is this, Joe? Like 72?
1971.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Crazy. Got about that. That's a good one. That might be the best pick on so
That
far, in my
for me that's
opinion.
shocking because that album again resurfaced for me. That band, which I was like, what band is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good number
And
six for me.
actually, before we move on, I need to apologize to someone. I do have a number 11
Go.
because, and I feel badly that this man is not on my list. I don't have any Frank Zappa on my list.
Oh, actually, wait, pause right there. Now I don't have any Frank Zappa. Cheats, do you have Frank Zappa?
Well, we talked about this, and Frank Zappa to me is a man in his own genre. So
It's
there,
hard.
there's rock, there's jazz,
Yeah.
there's blues, there's Frank Zappa. I don't consider Frank Zappa a part of anything. I consider Frank Zappa his own genre of music.
And you wouldn't even but you wouldn't put him on the list of prog rock? Like so Joe has hey, wait,
I
Joe,
mean,
what's your pick for Frank Zappa? A specific song?
There is a song called "The Muffin Man," which is highly, for me, reminiscent of 21st century Schizoid Man in the guitar work.
I, I mean,
I don't know who came first. I don't know if Zappa came first or if the King
well,
Crimson.
Zappa came out, and I know the Mr. Green Jean song was that like 69, a Blessed Relief. But I think for me, I I just put Zappa on his own. He's on another planet. He's not even a part of like in my world. When I think of Zappa, I don't think of him as I think of him as Frank Zappa, and there's nothing else besides Frank Zappa. I don't know. Does that make sense, or am I just that's just my crazy
Nah,
mind?
it makes total sense. I feel like he's so hard because like I can definitely see the prog. I can see it. But
Oh, he's beyond prog. Like
at the same time, he's so I don't even know how.
Zappa is jazz, prog, avant-garde, hard rock. He's everything. And it's so like he's just Zappa. That's all you could say,
I
you know?
mean, I heard his 1969 album Hot Rats could be
Yeah.
considered prog. But yeah, he's not on my list, but very hard to classify.
Joe's Garage is the one I listen to the most.
Yeah, I heard about that. Axe
And then
One,
the
Two,
one,
yeah,
the Chic, where he's dressed like a Chic. My uncle always
yeah,
played that a lot, you know.
yeah, and what he did with the Mothers of Invention too. Very sart, I think there's a word satiric, very taking jabs at like certain genres and creating concepts there too.
And his concept about the world, I learned at a young age. He was talking about the Illuminati and all the shit that's going on now. Back then,
Mhm.
Frank Zappa is Joe. We're not gonna go. Joe, we're not gonna go there because I think we did this before.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no. Frank,
genius.
we're just gonna leave it at this. Frank Zappa is probably the 20. What are we in again? What century is this?
21st century. 21st century.
Okay. 21st century, Frank Zappa is the greatest composer in,
On the guitar.
I mean, you have Stravinsky and you have Bela Bartok and
Yeah,
these
it's a good
people.
in the rock genre. I agree with that.
And
He's
you can't compare him to Stravinsky, Stravinsky, but Frank Zappa is the greatest in the rock
in the rock
genre
genre. Yeah,
for a
yeah.
musician, for a musician,
It's a great point.
You know what? Fuck it. You could compare him to Stravinsky. I'm gonna go there. I'm going there. I might get criticism, but you can put him up with Stravinsky in my book.
Nah, that's great. And then wait, okay, so gentlemen, we're number six?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I did my number
Who?
6.
Okay, Cheech, number six.
my boys, ELP, another radio friendly song, Carnival 9, off of
Mm.
Brain Salad Surgery. I'm
He's a
thinking of the Brown album by the band.
I was gonna say, is that frog?
Yeah. Uh, Brain Salad Surgery. And Joe, you want to show the album? I think you have it.
Yeah, that's a great album cover. Very, very like haunting.
Where is Carnival 9 on that? What is it? Did he open with it? I forget.
Well, here's what's crazy. They got their name on the spine. They got nothing as far as the songs. You have to actually go
It
to
was just
the
crazy.
album. You got to go to the album.
Oh wow.
And
Beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah, look at
I
that.
where
That whole album like is weird in terms of sequencing and
Yeah.
titles.
okay, yeah, Carnival 9 is on side 2.
Okay. The opener, I think.
It's the opener on side 2.
Yeah, I knew it was. So Carnival 9, great keyboard opening. Greg Lake's vocals over the organ. It reminds me of going to the circus. You know what I mean? With the organ going and the way
Yeah,
he's
that
singing.
sounds kind of scary.
The way he's singing over the organ. It sounds like the circus. Then the drums come in, really fast tempo, great bass line, great vocal performance. And then in the middle
Now,
section, there's that riff, that insane. It's actually like a blues scale
wait,
riff.
now Cheech, when you say Carnival 9, which one? First Impression Part 2
Um,
or Part 1? Or both?
Part one, the one that's on the radio.
Probably it's Part 2. That's interesting
Part,
because the album names are kind of confusing too on the album.
yeah, I might have messed that up. The one that's on the radio all the time.
Okay.
Um, then it goes into this crazy fast riff, and there's a great guitar solo in it. So Greg Lake gets props for being a great guitar solo.
Mm.
Crazy hits with the band, prog at its best. Um, and then it ends with like this crazy drum solo, and Greg Lake is singing over it. And then they just go insanely fast and insane, and then the song ends. You know. So yeah, I'm not sure on the. I know there's part one and two. I'm
Yeah, it's just strange in terms of what they named it in sequencing. Like it's
yeah, but
um
it's the one on the radio is
yeah, Part 1 or Part 2. If
yeah.
it's Joe is referring, it's a whole and yeah, it's a whole pro. It begins on Part 1, Part 2, 3. So it's kind of. confusing, but so the one on the radio. I think
Yeah,
I
yeah, that's the only way to put it. I'm not sure exactly.
no,
I
that
didn't
makes
need
sense.
to go back and
Not a good pick. A lot of ELP picks for you. Like
Oh, I am just on ELP.
that is funny. And yeah, you can't go wrong. It would make sense just based on what you were telling me about ELP and Greg Lake and um also Keith Emerson's sad story too, which is crazy.
Oh,
It's
that
crazy. And your
day,
story with that.
Keith Emerson and Neil Peart affected me so bad, so bad. When I heard the passing of both of them, I didn't leave my room for like 3 days. Keith Emerson especially because I don't want to get into what happened to him, but it's just you can Google it or whatever for
Yeah.
our fans. But it's a tragic loss and could have been stopped.
Yeah.
It's so sad. One of the greatest keyboard player of all time in
Yeah.
rock, in my opinion.
Yeah. That's great, man. It's sad, but yeah, great pick.
Man.
For me, number six. So my top five, we're gonna get really proggy. So I think all of us. We'll see who has the most proggiest list. But
Uh-oh.
before we do, Genesis, the Carpet Crawlers, off their album "The
Yeah,
Lamb Lies Down on Broadway."
that's a good one.
This song is so sentimental for me, and it's one of the song lyrically is strange. Like, it's weird. Peter Gabriel sketched this kind of like horrifying picture, especially if you're scared of bugs, don't listen to the song. Um, uh, and but Gabriel, first of all, like it's a soft song of a weird double album. The album is very hard. It's in order to get into it, you really have to like listen to it, and sometimes like it's a challenging listen. But this is one of the rare moments where Genesis, I feel like this is Prague's sweetest anthem. Um, Gabriel's vocals are so good. We were talking about how who would be the greatest prog rock vocalist? There are a few
Mm,
contenders. Peter Gabriel is up there. Um, and when he left and Phil took over, it's kind of funny. Like I was hearing Phil singing the Carpet Crawlers.
yeah,
And I always felt like every time he sings it, there's so much sadness in it, because he had to carry
yeah,
on and he was forced to sing when he didn't want to.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
ironically, would end up taking Genesis in like such a meteoric, height that Gabriel, I don't think he dreamed of until years later.
yeah.
Um, but everything from uh, uh, Phil Collins' majestic slow drumming. The sound is amazing. The Tony Banks piano playing.
Oh yeah.
Um, the chorus, you gotta get in to get out. Oh,
Being,
fantastic. And then Gabriel, saying you gotta get in to get out. And then you hear like Collins, great drumming. It's a masterpiece. I feel like it should have been like more played more on the radio.
yeah,
Sadly, it wasn't. And I get it because it's in the middle of this prog rock masterpiece and weird epic, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. But that would be my pick. Therefore, we go a little more proggy-er as we keep going on.
froggy. That is froggy.
But yeah, that's my number
That's a
six.
good one. That's a great one, man.
All right. Numero cinco. Now we're in the top five. So this one
Uh-oh.
we are in the great, great section. So let's see. So Joe, what we got? Number five.
This will be fun because I'm going to keep it going proggy. I'm going to keep it going with Genesis, and
Nice.
it's I know what I like in your wardrobe
I that
from
was out.
Selling England by the Pound.
Joe, I was gonna put that for number six, but yeah, it was that or the carpet crawler. So obviously you know which one I picked. But yeah, that's a good one.
Classic Peter Gabriel, 1973. It was the first single by Genesis to make the charts in England. So that was kind of
Sounds
like a
right.
song
Yep.
that kind of broke them a bit. And
Yeah.
I don't have Selling England by the Pound. I again did it with the live albums, took the easy way out, and
Uh,
I got it on Seconds Out.
And
And
it's
Seconds Out
fascinating
is
because
a live
Phil is
album.
singing on that. Gabriel's no longer with the band.
Right.
It's Phil.
Uh, Gabriel's out. Steve Hackett still appears on this. Bill
Yep.
Bruford appears on this. Let's see if I can get a little bit.
Yeah. Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah.
What
Mike
song is Bill? What
Rutherford.
song is Bill Bruford on?
Oh, you're gonna make me work. See how good my eyes are.
Yeah, Bill. I keep forgetting. Yeah, Bruford was on that record. That's
And
a
now
pick.
we got to add him. I forgot about that. Crimson, King Crimson, yes, in Genesis.
The
Jesus
Holy
Christ.
Trinity. The Holy Trinity
I
of rock.
know.
It's
Yeah,
tough for me to
and
make
that's
this
a
out.
great. And Phil Collins of "I Know Why I Like in Your Wardrobe" is fantastic too. It's just that song is a pop masterpiece. Like I'm
Yeah.
surprised it wasn't bigger. Like it should have been number one in the
Well,
States.
here's the interesting with Genesis. Foxtrot, they were huge in Italy.
Yeah. I heard about
So
that.
they could tour Italy and what was Foxtrot? What year was that? 73.
73? Yeah.
Yeah. So now from 73 and what year was selling England by the pound? 76.
73.
73. Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
came out the same year as, as Foxtrot?
No, a year after, I think. Let me see.
No, Lamb Lies Down in 74.
73, man.
They pulled a Rush pulled the Genesis, Caress of Steel and Fly by Night.
That's crazy. Yeah, 72 Foxtrot, 73.
So the mustard did something right because they got huge in their own country and they were huge in England because
Yeah.
before that they were not big in England
Yep.
on
Yep.
Foxtrot.
Yep.
Wow.
Bill Bruford plays on Cinema Show
Okay.
That's a
on the
yeah.
live album
That
Second
sounds
Story.
right. Yeah. And it makes sense because I feel like you need a drummer has to be on their game for that song.
Yeah.
So that's a good pick.
Great
What
I
pick.
like
I
the YouTube version of it with Peter Gabriel, and it's just so theatrical.
hmm
It's just a lot of fun. And I got to admit that after Peter Gabriel leaves the band, I think he really changed the band. And the only way they were going to survive was to go in more of a radio friendly direction, which was not is proggy to me.
Well, in the beginning, they were proggy, like Abacab and stuff like that was, proggy elements and stuff with the dissonance and all that stuff. But slowly, as they got more radio friendly, they were losing the
and,
progginess. But the progginess, and I'm saying late 70s, early 80s.
yeah, and dude, I know where you're going with this. It was slow. Like it wasn't like over, not yet. Like,
Yeah.
but you're right. They slowly, by invisible touch, you see the hand.
Yeah.
Like, they're just throwing every like frog
I
and like
mean,
they're
I don't
shedding
know.
it.
I don't know what year No Reply at All came out. It's 82 maybe.
Something like that. Yeah.
And you listen to it's not prog rock, it's radio rock, but you
Yeah.
listen to that bass line and in the horn lines, Rutherford is playing a prog rock
It-
Jocko
it's like a
inspired
prog
bass
soul
line.
song. It's weird.
But that bass line is up there with any Chris Squire bass line. That might be my favorite bass line of all time. I put it up
Mm,
there with Free Will. I mean,
mm.
and I always say this, I said this many times on this show. Listen to No Reply at All as a bass player. Listen to that friggin' bass line. It will blow your mind away. Mike Rutherford, the most underrated bass player ever
And
in
I
pro.
will. No, I always love when you say that story. I think, and I know you would agree with this, but even though it does have like the most radio friendly songs, but
Yeah,
1980, I one of their you hear this transition on Duke, where they
yeah,
start off the song with Behind the Lines. Now, Behind the Lines is a weird song because it's like it starts. It's probably one of the greatest openers of any album.
yeah.
Um, it begins with an instrumental, which is so amazing. But then it also has that pop song Behind the Lines, which he also
Hmm.
featured on his solo album too.
Yeah.
That's what Phil Collins was now getting a little sneaky, like
Hmm.
slowly like changing the,
Yeah.
eventually he says, all right, lads, let's just do radio songs at this point because I'm kind
And
of
then two
my
years
solo work is
later,
outselling Genesis.
MTV comes out and they're doing "It's No Fun Being an
Maybe
Illegal
illegal
Alien."
alien.
Which that album is great.
Or she sees the hand and visible touch.
But like the Illegal Alien album, I Got a Name and I Got a Number. I mean that is
No,
great.
there's some great tracks on
Yeah.
that. And even Mama's Haunting. Like that's a
Yeah.
weird,
Yeah.
spooky song.
But after that album, Well, in the air tonight is still solo, but like is when the downhill, like Susudio,
Eh,
Ah,
you know,
Tusa Studio.
the,
yeah. And what did you
I love Susudio, but
what did
definitely
you
is.
what did you send me the video, Manny? Uh, of that song with the Muppets in it in the
Oh,
video.
oh, Land of Confusion.
Oh my gosh.
Where, by the way, they finally got political. That's like a
Yeah.
political. That's a anti-Reagan song.
Right.
Like the
Wow.
video pokes fun at America, the Cold War, and all that, which
Yeah.
is weird because it's funny. Prague and politics is not really a thing. Like that's an.
No.
I just realized that like it's not.
No.
They're so artsy and up in their ivory towers,
They're focused on poetry,
which is a great thing, by the
history.
way. Yeah, and
Yeah,
philosophy and
they want you to take a journey with them away from this reality.
literature, like English
English
sensibilities,
literature,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, definitely.
pastoral life.
Emotional,
Yes,
getting into your emotions.
yeah. So number five, that was Joe. That was I know what I like in your wardrobe, right? Great pick. I approve. I Cheech, number five. Let's see.
Well, we're gonna be taking the trip to Canada, boys.
Oh my, okay, that's a coincidence because my number five pick is a trip to Toronto.
So, I think number five, one of my favorite instrumentals. This is my favorite instrumental, but I had to put another
Wait,
one ahead of it.
can I take a guess?
Yeah,
YYZ.
of course.
Yeah, that dan 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 dan
You
dan.
know, named after the airport code. Just that alone makes it Prague. Starts off with a triangle. You know what I mean? Hitting
Yeah, who
it.
starts out their song with a triangle?
Complex rhythms, 10/8. You know, the opening riff is in 5/4 on a triangle. Intricate bass line, dynamic shifts, amazing musicianship,
Tight.
amazing great bass fills where you get these fast Jocko runs with harmonics. The drum fills are insane. Then there's like the guitar solos. Then they go back into the main riff. It's so catchy.
It's insane. It's
It's bro
Prague next level.
broken into five parts. I think in my opinion, well, I gotta be careful. It's probably the second best. Well, I mean, I think it's the best instrumental
Hmm.
rock song ever made,
Could be,
and
yeah.
it blends hard rock, jazz fusion. It is. It's the best. It's the best instrumental song in
Yeah, and
Prague. From
that's
Prague.
no, that's a an insane accomplishment. A song that's catchy but no lyrics, strange background, time signature is insane. It's crazy how much they pack into 3 minutes.
Yeah,
Again,
I don't
if
know. They
I
did
picked
it.
up the if I was in a band, I hear YYZ. How do I like? How do I beat that? Like
I know. I
that's
know.
like top. Yeah, that's a good one. And
Thanks.
Off Moving Pictures was one of the last. That album is transitional.
Yeah. And
Uh,
it's off their most like their biggest commercial album because
Yep,
Tom Sawyer and Limelight blew up. And then on there they have a lot of artsy songs. You got to
yep,
remember, you got
yep.
Red Barchetta, very artsy, very artsy.
Witch Hunt, very
Witch
artsy.
Hunt, Vital Signs, very artsy. The
Hmm.
Camera Eye, very artsy.
And a return to the 10-minute format, but simpler
Yeah.
than what they did before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Simpler, you know. So
that's a great pick. YYZ.
thank you.
So my rush pick, gonna go complete opposite to you, a little longer off their album Farewell to Kings, Xanadu. I mean,
Oh
dude,
man.
number five, man, just what, dude, I feel like this song should be on like the greatest of all time. It's, in my opinion, I think it's Prague perfected. Like, because at this point, Prague was dying. It was like 77.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they decide first, and the background, Kubla Khan's poem. I mean,
Forget about it.
just
Forget
that
about it.
alone, just that,
Coleridge, you know.
dude, Kubla Khan, Coleridge. Okay, enough said. And then they have the nerve to craft this insane opening. I mean, if it doesn't bring tears to your eyes, I mean, dude, and Getty's vocals, they're on.
And Neil's got the bells.
Dude,
So
yeah,
the thing I love that people should really listen to Xanadu about, and I know you know this, Manny, Alex's swells on the guitar where he's using his volume with that whoa, 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 it
yeah,
sounds like it's
yeah,
underwater. The
yeah.
bells, and then there's the
Yeah, yeah, dude,
chimes.
wait. I love that, like, wow, 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 wow. Like, dude, that's like my favorite part. And then, by the way, in my opinion, one of Getty's greatest basses. Like, you talked about the bass sound on Yes. Doom, dum, bam, 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 da,
Yeah,
boom.
yeah,
Like, dude,
yeah.
it's just in your face. It's amazing. And one of the best videos to watch this is off their Exit Stage Left concert footage.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
my goodness. It's so, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm geeking. Seeing
No,
Getty
you're not.
with the double, bass and Alex with because you require all these instruments.
Yep.
Neil's drum kit is insane. What's on it?
And the
He's
fills, when they do those fills together, the bass and drums, it's insane. It's
No,
like,
I'll be honest with you, this song is not talked enough, man. Like it,
no,
and Getty, the lyrics. I mean, I already said this, but they were inspired by Kubla Khan by Coleridge, which we talked. Maybe I should link that episode. Um, we did a long deep dive on that one, but dude, it's just starting off like to seek the sacred river elf, to walk the caves of ice, to break my fast on honeydew,
yeah,
and then he goes for that prog metal boys like now down like
yeah.
one of the best guitar solos, dude. This song, in my opinion, Farewell to Kings is so good, but
Oh yeah,
Xanadu is such a high point where this is a hot take, but they don't match it. And I'll
yeah,
be honest with you, they never reach Xanadu levels, and that's a lot coming from a Rush fan.
yeah.
Um,
I
Pop,
mean, I might disagree with
yeah,
you.
yeah, no, I know, I know, that's a hot take, and
I, I,
and
I
and your brother-in-law is
I
gonna
mean,
definitely disagree.
I don't want to give my name. Hemispheres, kind of,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was gonna
yeah,
go there.
yeah,
Hemisphere is a
you know,
close with Nietzsche, but um, I just feel Xanadu, that song, it does something in me, and I feel like that's Prague perfected.
yeah.
They're so tight, nine
Oh,
minutes. Where I wish it was longer. I mean, who
and
says that?
I think it brings the poem to life.
Dude, everything. They
Yeah,
set and talk about using Prague is famous, art rock is famous of setting moods. You hear it with, especially when you hear with that sound on Alex Lifeson, that weird guitar sound like
yeah. The
wow,
swells.
wow,
Yeah, yeah,
wow, 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 wow. Like,
yeah, yeah,
and someone that would do something like that would be on keyboards on Pink Floyd Shine On You Crazy Diamond,
yeah.
the second part, where you hear that beautiful, like it's a sound, like it's great, but Alex does it on guitar, where it sounds
And,
like water droplets.
yeah, yeah.
Fantastic.
And
Dude,
don't forget the keyboard solo. I
dude,
mean,
dude, yeah, everything's on full display. Like, wow, 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 like, down, 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 and like
the
hearing like,
riff. Yeah.
down, 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 down,
Oh, the
down.
that
Dude,
riff is insanity. Oh, yeah,
man, and Neil's drumming is so good, and it would have been this song or Free Will.
yeah.
Now this is the actually funny. No, this is the last Rush song. No more after this.
I went through a period in high school where I learned every song from Fly By Night, Caress of Steel, 2112, Farewell to Kings, Hemispheres, and Permanent Waves, and Moving Pictures. I learned every song. I studied every Rush song on those albums.
That's insane. And I feel
Yeah.
it's just it takes your musicianship. I'm not a musician, but it has to take it to the next
I'm not.
level.
I might have been like. I'm probably like Les Claypool, Joe, on that. on a lot of those songs. If I played it in front of Getty, I would definitely get a get a Getty Les Claypool reaction. But just studying it really shaped my playing.
Nah, I mean, yeah, so we already got. I don't know if that's your. I don't know if Joe has any Rush. I don't know if that's my last Rush pick because then we're gonna get a little more proggier.
We're gonna stay in Canada for a while with me.
No, and honestly, I would have picked Hemispheres too. Even like I would have picked like a Farewell to Kings as well with that great Emerson Lake Palmer-ish opening with the
Yeah, yeah,
acoustic, or like
yeah.
you definitely that's Yes influence, but. I'm gonna go with Xanadu, and that would I'm gonna leave Toronto after this and go back to England.
Go back to England.
All right, all right. Number four, right? Quato.
Yeah,
All right, Joe, four.
Number four, Salisbury Hill by Peter Gabriel,
great one.
1977,
That's a great one.
from his first solo album. An all-time favorite of Peter Gabriel's. It's absolutely necessary, mandatory that he play it at every show that he does.
Mm,
And I think what makes it notable, not being a musician, but I kind of get it, it has an unusual time signature. It's a 7/4
hmm
Hmm.
time signature. Very difficult guitar work to be done. Actually, originally, what I read about it was that Robert Fripp was supposed to
I,
originally be the guitarist on. He was not.
I
He
was gonna
was
share that
because there was
story.
a
Yeah.
scheduling. Yeah, there was a scheduling conflict. He was unavailable to record for Salisbury Hill. So Steve Hunter played guitar, and once he figured it out, everything went really, really well. And just a great song. And I was wondering, it's such a great song. Is it proggy? Is it proggy enough? But I think because of the unusual time signature,
Oh
Oh,
yeah, anything with 7/4 in it.
anything with Gabriel's Prague, especially because his early albums are so art rock, and that one he makes that time signature, but it doesn't sound like it. That's an achievement. Like
Well, you know what that time signature is? It's Money too by Pink
I
Floyd.
I was gonna say, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but and you would think at first you do kind of hear it, ding, 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 ding. Like you can hear it, and at
Yeah.
first, if you're a musician, I would say like, whoa, what time signature is this? Even I hear it sometimes, and um. It's just that it's weird, but at the same time, it's like accessible. Like that's an achievement. Like
Yeah.
Salisbury Hill, and also it's a great song. It's his goodbye to like his old self too. Like it's a swan song type of song too.
Yeah.
you mean
Yeah,
leaving Genesis? I
leaving
think it's partly,
Genesis
yeah, leaving
and
Genesis and what
starting
was known
over.
for something unknown.
Yeah, which and it went well for him because it became a hit, a hit, and then he would do his own way and then reach artistic peak with So. Many 10 years later, I think about 10 years, and become
Yeah.
the 80s. And do that song "In Your Eyes," which is gonna be featured in the
Oh,
movie
I
"Stay
love that
Anything."
song.
By the way, it's featured an iconic scene where like John Cusack is like holding like the boombox.
So romantic, man. The 80s was all about that like cheesy romantic
But
shit. I love
who
it.
would have thought Peter Gabriel? They would have picked a Gabriel song, right?
I
Like,
know. Because
and it all starts.
the song is beautiful.
It's beautiful, and it all starts with Salisbury Hill.
Yeah.
And great guitar, ding, 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 ding. Like
And
it.
who was the girl in the Ione Sky? Is that the girl in Say Anything? That
Oh, I don't know, but I like her, whoever she is.
yeah. Oh, I had a crush on her, man.
Yeah, she's great in that. That Joe, love that pick.
Yeah, well, man, your homework assignment, I think, because you like Peter Gabriel and Genesis. If you haven't listened to the latest Peter Gabriel album called I.O., you've got to do it. Interesting
Ooh,
concept. Look it up
let me see.
online because what he did to promote it is over a 12-month period, he had 12 songs. Every full moon, he released a new song online until
Oh,
all the 12 were done. And then after the 12, that's when they went on tour and toured in support of the album. It's
Wow.
very mature, really great sounding stuff, good songs, really good songs. It's
I'm gonna listen to. Yeah, I gotta listen to. Yeah, I see it. IO, love it.
great concept because he was trying to uh, present visual art as well as musical art. And he partnered with every month also, besides this full moon thing, he would partner with an artist who interested him and
Mm.
provide the work, and it would be like in a video. And then it was presented on video screen live in concert. It was a great show he put on at the Garden. I guess it was 2 years ago now.
It's crazy. That's like art rock peak.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
still going on.
He's still doing it. It's crazy. Now I'm gonna
still
listen to
doing it. I
IO.
mean, when I was a kid, we never called it prog rock. It was always art rock. And it said,
Yeah.
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
thought of Yes or
yeah.
Genesis, it was art rock.
Yeah. That's so true.
Yeah, I don't know if that progressive rock came after that term. I don't even know when it started really, but
That's a
I
good
I don't know.
question.
I don't know. I since I was late in obviously late in the game listening to his music, it was always called progressive rock, and then I
Yeah.
realized this is my favorite genre for sure.
I grew up with proggy. That was a part of my like an adjective to describe
Right.
music. Proggy, you know.
No,
Who's up next?
that's a good pick. All right, Cheech, number four, numero cuatro.
Well, it's pretty cold here, and it's cold where we're gonna go. It's probably even colder where we're going. Place called Toronto. Hemispheres. 1978. I really
Hmm.
don't have to talk about this because we've,
Yeah. Yeah, no, we just watched our
you
episode.
know, but I will briefly break down the genius of this album. The one side, side one,
Hemispheres.
the balance between the rational left brain, Apollo, and the emotions, and the right brain,
Dionysus, the
you
Nichaean
know,
conflict.
yeah, adding the Greek mythology in there here in the concept, and the hero Cygnus who brings balance. And there's so many time signatures 9-8, 7-8. We're getting in this time signature thing, obviously 4-4, multiple key changes, complex melodies, virtuosic playing, life's in soaring guitar, Pert's complex drumming, Getty's incredible bass work and high, amazing vocals. And it brought back, let's say, I'm not going to even say prog, art rock to where it was dying. Art rock in 1977
Mm.
was dead. It was gone. And bands like Kansas, can't stop talking about them, and Rush made it come alive again. So yeah,
And it's the song that officially broke them too. Like
yeah,
it took a lot out of them. You hear it. I mean, you're right. 18 minutes. It's probably the most. Obviously I
and
went with Xanadu, but
but they did. Now that I'm really studying Genesis, and you're the expert on Genesis, they borrowed this concept from Foxtrot.
oh, dude, they borrowed it. Like I would say, argue stole it in a way. Like those
Or
concepts.
Oh, and then you can't forget Ayn Rand. Well, no, I'm sorry, that's 2012. Sorry. Um,
Friedrich
uh,
Nietzsche.
Nietzsche, I meant to say. Yeah, Nietzsche's concept of
Dude,
that.
dude, they stole the whole. I'm joking, but they took the whole thing from Nietzsche's book.
Yeah, and they got Nietzsche's concept in there, and then the
'Cause that was the
force.
struggle, like
Yeah,
reason versus uh, emotion, right? Like that's and they were ahead of the psychology too in a little way.
yeah,
Like
the
it's
left
on their
brain versus
album
the right
cover.
brain.
It's
Yeah, the brain, the
fascinating.
naked guy.
And the reconciliation, like spiritually as well. Like how do you
Yeah,
reconcile this within human nature? And they
yeah.
crap they and then I love, I like you said, like, when our weary world was
Oh
young.
my
Like,
God, like,
dude, that whole song just
and
man, like
and when I compare it to Foxtrot, they got The Supper's Ready, and then there's four
yep.
songs. You got Hemispheres, and you got, friggin', four songs on the Circumstances, three songs, Circumstances, The Trees, and La Villa Stingato, on the other side. So it's a genius album.
It,
Oh my God.
it's genius, yeah. Like it's funny, I picked Xanadu over this one, but that was actually gonna be one that my pick, Cygnus X1. And it's funny, it's also like a sequel to the Cygnus song and Farewell to Kings, which is fascinating. But Book Two Hemispheres,
Oh
which
yeah, yeah. They
which is
take it. They
insane.
take it from whatchamacallit, Cygnus, the black hole, the song about a black hole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And at the end, like it's funny because the resolution, it's kind of it's just a great song. Like
yeah.
and humanity, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's a good pick, Cheech.
Thank you.
Number four for me, In the Court of the Crimson King. The song In the Court of the Crimson King. Dude, like this has entered now we're definitely into, prog territory. Man, we talked about the song. That whole album is insane. Like I would
Oh
have
yeah.
picked 21st Century Schizoid Man. I would have. But the problem is I love what I love and I love this song. And I'm trying to understand like why. Like I love scary haunt. haunting songs. You know, just the vocal, in the court
Yeah.
of the Crimson King, like
Yeah.
Greg's Lake's voice, it's emotional. Musically, it's an epic 9 minute, like it's just Prague before Prague was Prague, before art
Yeah.
rock was art rock. They were ahead of the game. Um, the song is being in the court of the Crimson King, crimson, that color of blood. We're talking about a king. I think
And
that's
it has that Vietnam
yeah, which you told me, which I wouldn't,
anti-war.
which would
thing.
make sense, and that would make sense. It reminds me of
Like there's a
Apocalypse Now.
there's a lyric about witches in it, and the witches stand for napalm. That's the symbolism.
I see it, and Greg Lake's voice, right? Like
Oh
like
my
the
God.
rusted chains of prison moons, like it's so poetic.
Oh
And then
yeah.
when you reach the chorus, and then I love the way he's saying like, "And the court of the crimson and down," like
So much
here,
power. Oh my God.
it's power prog. Like there's
Yeah.
power pop and like and
And,
this,
and
this
it reeks of 1960s. It's
oh
got that
oh
60s
dude.
production.
That's
It's
what I
so
love about it.
beautiful.
They took what the Moody Blues started and just
Yeah, it
perfected
does
it.
doesn't sound like anything in the 70s.
No, no, it also sounds something like like Bach, not Bach, but Beethoven would produce. Like
Yeah.
it's haunting. It's horrifying too. Like if you really look at the lyrics, you're like Crimson King. What are we talking about here?
If you
Oh,
listen to like Procol Harum, they took a lot from Procol Harum,
mm,
that style with the mellow kind of
yeah.
dark kind of sound. Yeah.
And it's crazy because yeah,
Beautiful.
it's mellow. It
Yeah.
sounds mellow, but
It's a
then
mellow
just
song, but
hits you in
it's
the face with like
oh
the dissonant, like wow, wow,
oh yeah.
wow, wow, like wow,
It's such a great song. Oh
like
my
it's like
God.
going to Dante's Inferno or something. Like it's
Exactly.
so good. But that's number four. And my,
Great pick.
all right, Joe, número tres, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
número tres.
this is a fun one. This is a favorite of mine. I never take the easy way out. Fearless by Pink Floyd
Ah,
and the
that's
Metal
a good
album.
one.
It is heavily acoustic. I have always loved the song.
That's a great one.
What is interesting is that they have audio of the Liverpool Football Club fans singing "You'll Never Walk Alone," and they had to get permission from Rodgers and Hammerstein to use the clip. It was really cool at the end of the song with the football chant. Um, Roger Waters plays the acoustic guitar, and David Gilmour does the vocals. And I love the Metal album. It would have been the easy way out if I had just um, put Echoes, a 23-minute side two
Oh,
epic
yeah.
song, Echoes.
Just that song alone, yeah. I'm telling you, Pink Floyd is Prague. It's just crazy how, and also the song "One of These Days."
Yeah, that's the album
That
opener.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's really intense. I'm really I've come to the conclusion. It's an easy conclusion that without metal, there would not have been a Dark Side of the Moon.
nope, that's proven. Yeah,
Good
yep,
You know, it
point.
was a progression. They
yeah,
kept building and building and getting better and better and knowing how to use the studio.
yeah,
There's a great ambiance to this entire album.
yeah.
Roger Waters, and we talked about this, Manny, in our secret conversations. Like you said, he knew how to use that studio.
Oh, he was a master, and it's
Yeah.
crazy what I like about this whole album, and that's a great pick, Joe. And Pink Floyd were actually one unit, like they were all on. There was no one person taking over because by Animals, it was pretty much Roger Waters taking control of like where the band was going, but musically it was Gilmore, but poor Gilmore didn't get enough credit. It was always everyone. Like
Yeah.
and yeah, no if there was no echoes, there's no Dark Side of the Moon. Like everything they started on that album, especially, like they're gonna perfect on Dark Side. I argue that Dark Side is one long prog art rock piece. Like
Yeah.
it's separate, but it's just one. They should have just. I mean, it's crazy. They should have put a thick as a brick. Just put side one and like,
That's insane thing.
but but yeah, that's an insane one. But yeah,
It's
that's
about a little boy. It's the
yeah,
concept of it.
it's
I
funny.
can't figure that out.
No, in Passion Play, Jethro Tull take Frog next levels. They're not in my top list, but yeah, for Joe, that's a good one. And they have also a song called Seamus where they record a dog. I know you guys heard about this
Oh
on that
yeah,
album.
there's the dog. They I
Yeah,
forget which band member's dog it was that they
it's
used.
great. Like talk about
Yeah.
experimentation. Like they were out there, like
Yeah.
art rock people, very pushing the boundaries. All right, Cheech, número tres.
All right. Well, and I'm not leaving Toronto, guys. Staying there. 2112. I know, but I gotta go with it because this is the album that I think saved art rock, and it brought art rock into prog metal.
Hmm.
And just, not to rehash it, but we all know what happens. They combine hard rock, metal, complex song structures, a classical influence, the concept of a dystopian story, the fight for artistic freedom, 20-minute long epic, a time when Rush was going to get dropped by their label, and they chose to say, F you, we're doing what we want, and they did this album. Um, I think it's the best opening for me of any song. It has that crazy spacey sound, and then those hits come in. Um, Alex plays some amazing acoustic work. There's a lot of light and shade that goes on. Getty's high-pitched vocals, amazing bass lines. Neil's prog drumming is insane. And the song, The Priests in the Temple of Syrinx is amazing. It's such
We
an
are the priests of the
just an
temple
amazing
of
song,
Syria.
You know, um, like I said, it has that light and shade, the musical changes, and then the ending, the finale. It has a Zeppelin riff that dun, 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 and then attention all planets of the solar Federation. We have assumed
We have
control.
assumed control. We
We
have
have
assumed
assumed
control.
control. Make sure you have your cut glove in your left hand. We have assumed control.
We have assumed control. Cold green.
And that assumed control, everything blowing up at the end is so powerful. My God.
It's yeah, and just the fact that it's like 22 minutes of epic storytelling, like,
Yeah.
and it's crazy because they remove some of the prog elements in terms of like like flutes, moogs, like
Yeah.
that keyboard,
Well,
and give it a heavy metal.
they didn't even have that yet. They didn't know, they didn't bring that in till Farewell to
How
Kings.
crazy is that though? Like
I
you
mean,
see their evolution.
when they toured on that, there was no keyboards. Getty had pedals of some kind. He didn't have Moogs. He had some weird pedal that he played. But the Moog and stuff came in. Farewell to Kings is when they went English prog. And they admit that. They got keyboards, Moog. Alex got a Roland chorus. They got all that all the stuff the English guys had. But
Mm.
that's the last rock. That's the last period of Rush as a three piece without any type of keyboards or anything. And
Mm.
that's and all the world's a stage, as we said, that epitomizes that sound. So that's my third. And
That's a good. Are we still gonna be in Toronto?
no, I'm going to England after this. Hopefully the tickets
I know
aren't
your number
expensive.
one is Tubular Bells, though.
I didn't put it on there.
Me too. I was gonna give an honorable mention, but I'm like, all
Yeah,
right, but
yeah,
like that sounds great though. 40-minute epic, like that's an
yeah.
insane song. All right, Joe, dose. Wait, we on three or two?
Two.
We're on number two.
You sure?
Ashes Are Burning by Renaissance, 1973.
Yeah.
Uh, on the album, it's 11 minutes. On the Live at Carnegie Hall disc, it is 23 minutes and 50 seconds. I love the song because I love the voice of Annie Haslam. 5-octave voice gives me chills. And I recommend anybody or everybody listen to Ashes Are Burning. Great, great song. Also, John Camp, who is the bass player features very prominently on the song.
Oh yeah, that guy is underrated bass player. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And the guitar solo on the studio album was done by someone you know, Cheech, Andy
Yeah.
Powell of Wishbone Ash.
Yeah, and Renaissance and Wishbone Ash are very similar. They both should have been way bigger than than they were. They weren't really known household names, you know. Um,
Yeah.
so great guitar player, Andy Powell. Renaissance, great vocals.
So, as usual, I got the live album, live at Carnegie Hall. What's interesting, I just noticed there's a song called Scheherazade. I don't know how they even got on the album. It's 28 minutes long. Because
Wow.
my understanding is that when they start compressing, the vinyl records, when you get that many minutes on there, you have to sacrifice a little bit of sound quality. Uh,
Yeah.
Wow.
but The Ashes Are Burning, great song, epic, great bass, especially
Oh
wonderful
yeah.
keyboards too. I got to say, but there's actually I don't see this a lot or hear it a lot. There's a great deal of interplay between Annie Haslam's vocals and the bass player,
Yeah.
and it just works really well.
Mm.
Yeah, it's what
Beautiful.
made them unique. They were such a unique band, because she was like a princess that came out, like something at a Disney movie. She was not your Ann Wilson. You know what I mean? She didn't come out like a rock star. She had like this unique class to her
Mm.
that
Kind of
was
reminds me of like
phenomenal.
Kate Bush,
Yeah,
because there are a few prog rock singers, women, women rock.
she might be honestly the only prog rock singer that I could think of.
Yeah, I don't think there's
I don't
much.
think there's any prog rock singers, and that's what made Renaissance so special. You know, Although like don't get me wrong, Heart was a rock band, Zeppelin influence, but they had some
Yeah.
proggy shit going on too. People forget that about Heart. They had Dog and Butterfly, the real quiet stuff, and they had a song called "Sing Child Sing," where there's a flute solo in it. So like they could be proggy as fuck too. So, but
Yeah,
yeah, great band, Renaissance.
that's good. And you're giving fame to Renaissance because definitely not on our list, right? And I didn't learn, I didn't know Renaissance until you guys mentioned them. So
Yeah.
we're gonna be binge listening. All right, uh, teach two.
Wait, did you go for? You went already, Manny?
Not yet.
Okay.
Two.
I'm in England, and I have a little song. It's called "Supper's Ready."
Little
It's a
little
little song. A little
itty bitty
song.
song off a little bitty album.
It's an album called Foxtrot, 1973, by a band called Genesis. I broke this song down. I think this is the most proggiest song ever written by any prog
Hmm.
band. I'm gonna make an attempt to talk about it. I'm gonna screw up names, I know that, but a prog rock epic. It's considered the pinnacle of prog rock, known for its complex soundscape, ability to create cinematic themes, theatrical music experience. Um, the themes come from the Book of Revelations and also from Peter Gabriel's wife having a bad acid trip.
Oh,
It's broken into seven parts. Lover's Leap. I'm just gonna name a few. How dare I be so beautiful? Willow Farm. I know you love that,
Hmm.
Manny. Apocalypse in 9/8. As sure eggs is eggs. What is it? Aching feet. I don't know what the fuck that means, but uh,
And by the way, for every one of these sections, I think Gabriel had a costume. Like he was insane.
that's a good point. Yeah,
Like
he
he's
did.
insane. And just to listen to
And
this
he shaved
22
his
minutes.
head. His
Oh
head is
yeah,
completely fucked up on this.
he's nuts. And if you could get the version 22 minute of the best rock, I think on the planet, it's and to get to the conclusion. I mean, especially Gabriel just goes crescendo. Like you hear his mighty voice and the band, like
Oh yeah. I
um,
have I have 23 minutes long, 9/8 music, varied instrumentation. Um Hammond organ, dynamic instrumental passages, symphonic structure divided into seven parts, gentle acoustic passages with the flute, vocal
Mhm.
harmonies, intense heavy rock, organ and guitar interact, uh, bass line. Hold that thought for a second. The rhythm is so tight, the bass and drums, beautiful vocals and melody. I'm just gonna say Mike Rutherford, Mike Rutherford, Mike Rutherford. The
Yeah,
guy is a
he's
fucking bass genius.
yeah, he's not talked about, and
He
he's one of
gets
he's like the
forgotten.
John Paul Jones in Genesis.
But
Like,
like when you listen to Supper's Ready, Mike Rutherford is doing some insane bass work on a Rick. And it's different than Chris Squire, different than Getty, but it's Mike Rutherford. He has his own thing. He's a genius. Check out Foxtrot Supper's Ready. That's the most prog
yeah,
song, one of the most proggiest songs ever written in my book. It would definitely go up against Rush in my book, and that's saying a lot.
I know. I've been talking for years about that album.
Yeah,
My dad used to sing like, "I know a farmer who looks after the farm." Like, I don't know if you know that. My dad used to sing that line. I'm like, "What the
yeah,
heck?"
yeah.
Like,
I love that
like
song.
he learned his
Well,
English.
the concept of the male and female,
Oh,
and they
by the
go
way, when we dissect that album, dude, we're going into human nature. We're
and they
going
go on
deep.
a journey.
It's a and again, you could
Yeah,
argue, yeah, it's like a drug journey, but at the
yeah.
same time, though, it's like you're entering like deep spiritual, unconscious depths.
My theory is it's Gabriel and his wife taking acid, and they went on this journey, and they might have had a Bible, and that's where Revelations comes
Well,
in. But
yeah,
she,
well, yeah. If
eh,
like in terms of how the song was written, right?
yeah, and she just went too far
Right.
with the trip. So that's just
Yeah.
my theory on it. Anyway, all right. So supper's
Dude,
ready.
that's a great pick, man. That's good. So my numero dos is Close to the Edge
Oh God.
of Yes's 19. I'll be honest with you, this album this is one of the most perfect prog rock albums. It's not even like and Close to the Edge, dude. Tell me how 19 minutes of melt in your face. You talked about first of all, the way it begins is so avant-garde. Like I
Yeah.
feel like Close to the Edge is Canterbury, but yesified, where
Yeah,
it begins very
the intro is Canterbury. The way it's like,
it's
yeah, yeah,
droning, it's
yeah,
dissonant,
yeah, 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 yeah,
like they're just going,
yeah.
and I'm thinking, this sounds so. How the hell did they record this? Um, and then man, just for Anderson, who shout out to this dude who's able, his singing is
Amazing.
so immaculate. And I love the moods he's establishing, a season which could call you from he's kind of like rapping too, like dun 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 dun.
It
Dun.
has a rhythm. It has a rhythmic flow to the vocals, like
Yeah,
a chanting, a
yeah,
chant.
yeah. No, I think that's what it is. And then the chorus, close to the edge, round by
Down
the
by the ridge.
corner,
Yeah.
dun 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 dun. And then the keyboard player, um,
Rick Wakeman.
Rick Wakeman, dude, has one of the most soul-crushing, ethereal solos straight from church, taking out church to like,
Exactly.
dude, and down and down and down and down and down and down and
And
down
then those
down down and down.
breaks with the bass. Bow, bow, bow,
Oh, dude,
bow. I mean,
dude, it's musical orgasm ecstasy. I mean, I don't know how to else describe it.
and
Like
once again, the talent, I'm still on this arranger kick. The talent's there. Rick Wakeman, Chris Squire, John Anderson, but Eddie Oxford
Eddie
is
Oxford,
he's the
right?
guy. He's the
Yeah,
guy that made this happen.
I mean, and I would argue it's a hot take. Yes, never reach these heights again. It's a hot take. I know you guys are gonna disagree, but something
Well,
about
fragile and close to the edge. Those are the two
I
greatest
argue
Yes
close to
albums.
the edge is better than fragile. That I know that people are gonna hate me. That's gonna get some.
I mean, what was that? Oh, then Tales from Topographic Oceans, then Relayer,
Mhm.
and then going for the one. Then yeah, then there is a change there
Yep.
because this is the last album of Bruford.
Yep.
and then
And
Tales
I
from
feel like he's
Graphic.
the secret sauce because
He is.
the drumming. And by the way, if you guys get a chance to, you guys probably seen the live. Uh,
Oh yeah,
yes,
yeah.
in their prime, Steve Hogg. I'm looking at him play guitar. He's going like,
Oh,
I don't,
he's so fat. He's
I
Chet
don't even know,
He sounds like Chet Atkins when he's doing these runs.
dude. I don't know.
Ridiculous.
Yes is inhuman. Like I don't know how a band could record a song like this. Like it's
Yeah,
insane. And
I know.
yeah, it's just and it's funny. It doesn't. I wish it was long. It was another. This is crazy. Only prog rock nerds would say this. I wish it was longer. Like,
Hmm.
like I wish
Well,
it never ends.
that's a good point. Like Close to the Edge and Fragile, and then the albums before that and stuff. No, no. Oh, what is it like? No necessary, no experience necessary. Whatever. I forget.
Mhm.
The early ones. They had Tony Banks on guitar and stuff. But not Tony Banks. What was the guy's name? Peter Banks. Peter Banks was the guitar player. Um, you're right. Tales from Topographic Oceans is amazing,
Mhm.
but Alan White brought a different drum sound to the
Right.
band.
Right.
And I know Joe loves Relayer, and I'm not taking anything away from
Yeah.
Relayer. That's Patrick Moraz. Relayer is
No.
prog.
No.
Like
No.
it's like
All of
Relayer
Yes's
is more
album.
like Gentle Giant
Yeah.
compared to Close to the
Yeah.
Edge.
Yeah.
If that makes
And,
it.
and
Relayer took
topographic
it.
oceans is exploratory, but it
Yeah.
requires a lot of patience. But close
And
to the edge, dude, it's like it grabs your face and doesn't let go of it. And then,
and and going for the one is them trying to be commercial.
mhm,
Because going for the one is a commercial song. It's very catchy. It's
mhm,
almost like Rush. There's another song on that album. I can't think of the name of it. It sounds like a Rush song.
mhm, mhm.
But and then Tormato, and I love drama. And
Yeah,
I,
it's funny. We go. I always laugh, Joe. You'll laugh. That's like, how, tell me how we go from, and the lyrics are so good, and especially when you hear what they were inspired by. Very similar to John Lennon and the Tibetan Book of the Dead, but we go from like a season which could call you from the depths of your disgrace to owner of a lonely heart.
yeah, and it's
I just
funny.
laugh. I just laugh. This is the same band. That's crazy to me. Like
Oh no, yeah,
we go
yeah.
from like one insane position to like, all right, makes sense why Owner of the Lonely Heart was one of their biggest hits.
One of the Lonely Hearts. I've always liked it.
No, I love the song.
It's
Great guitar
catchy.
solo.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Trevor
on it.
Rabin, yeah. But it's nothing like Close to the Edge.
Lose
And it's
yourself.
funny.
Lose yourself.
And it's funny you said John Lennon because Alan White was John Lennon's drummer. And
Yeah,
imagine,
there we go.
yeah, so
There
there's
we
a
go.
connection.
That's my number two pick.
That's an
Jennifer.
amazing fucking pick. Oh my
Yep.
God.
Yep.
But it is a good point. Joe may disagree, but I think you brought that's a good point. I never thought about. Yes, did change after Close to the Edge. They
Well,
were a
see,
different band.
without you telling me those details, I hear it, and I love Yes. Don't get me wrong, like all the albums,
Yeah.
even in 902 01, like that's great album.
Yeah.
Obviously heavy 80s, but for some odd reason they never reached this form again. Like again, for many factors, but this album is just perfection. Like if
Yeah.
in terms of like the Gospel of Prague, I mean, this is like.
And Close to the Edge might be one of the greatest prog albums
The
too.
whole album, every track is perfect, but starting
Yeah.
off, they start off with such a bang that the other two tracks are
Yeah.
insane as well. But obviously, Close to the Edge is like such a peak. And yes, in their career, I feel like again,
And
like
that was what, 72?
yeah, that was like seven.
70.
That was like peak prog, like
Oh yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
But yeah, that's my pick. All right, let's go to numero uno, Joe.
You
Number
guys
one.
kind of stole my thunder. You gave it a good lead in. We're going to stick with Yes. We're going to go with Relayer
Yeah, I know
with the
that's your
Gates
favorite
of
album.
Delirium.
That's a
Right.
You know the Gates of Delirium, 22 Minutes of Bliss?
Yep. Amazing. Amazing.
It's unbelievable. You talk about secret sauce. Patrick Moraz is the
Of
secret
course.
sauce.
Of course.
It was interesting reading up about the album and Rick Wakeman's thoughts on it because he had left the band and he listened to Relayer and he said, I made the right decision. I totally disagree with Rick Wakeman. I'm so sorry, Rick. You're
Well,
great. But Patrick Moraz was wonderful on this album.
Rick Wakeman had an ego because Rick Wakeman was
Uh,
doing a bunch of solo
yeah.
albums, and I think the fact that he didn't like
Right.
Patrick Morez is Dutch, so he doesn't fit the bill because English prog rock, proper English prog rock, is English. So here comes a guy who's Dutch, and he's joining an English band, and they took that shit serious back then. You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't have an American join, their band.
Oh
You know,
no,
you
no,
know.
dude.
So if you were not English, and this is my theory, I don't know.
UFO was ripping apart Rush, like
Yeah,
making
oh
fun of
yeah.
them.
But the fact that he was Dutch made him unique,
Yeah.
and he was very classical and jazz, where he was different than Rick Wakeman. He was different than uh who's the other Tony. There's like Tony Banks, Tony K, Peter Banks. Tony K was the original keyboard player. So they're all different, all three keyboard
Yeah.
players.
Yeah. Wait,
But
yeah,
Patrick,
no, I agree with that. Like you could hear it. They're all insane. I just feel like they all have egos, especially Wakeman. Like, he had a huge ego. It's funny how
massive.
much I heard like how much the Yes members hated each other, which is
They
crazy. I
still
mean,
do. They still did until.
because of their egos.
Yeah, yeah,
I think things fractured and came apart for them with the Tornado album.
yeah.
Tornado, which I believe came out after Going for the One.
1978. You
Yeah,
had that album. Did you see that
yeah,
tour? Or no. Okay, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Tornado. I said, yeah.
yeah,
Don't Hunt the Whale. Yeah,
yeah. It got weird.
that's some
Yeah,
stuff. But Gates of Delirium, 1974, Relayer with Patrick Moraz. I
it
mean, it
is
starts
great.
off with a nice introductory vocal section,
Hmm.
and then it just ramps up into this long instrumental of the chaos of battle.
Yeah,
And it's just incredible. It's headphone music, just the way metal of Pink Floyd is. You got to
yeah.
listen to it with headphones. You can't be distracted. Just let the music take you away. And then it ends with the final section called "Soon," but it's part of the song "Gates of Delirium," and it ends with a gentle, soothing prayer for peace and hope. Was what one reviewer put
That
down.
that's a that's a great pick. I love it. You know.
Yeah.
Picks a whole side too. 21 minutes.
And I mean I'm gonna be sacrilegious on this, but I like Drama, the last album that they did with Trevor Horn singing. John Anderson left, and I love that album. I think I love it because I love the bass on it. But there's some really good songs on that, but that's Yes, really 1979 discovering the 80s. They're getting that 80s sound. And Joe, you want to talk about the super group that was supposed to happen in between Owner of the Lonely Hearts and Drama with Jimmy Page?
XYZ.
Yeah,
Yeah, Chris Squire on bass, Jimmy Page on lead guitar, uh,
Alan White on drums.
Alan White on drums, and they wanted Robert Plant, and Plant was no way from
Yeah,
the beginning. So it was
Dude,
difficult.
imagine if they got together. That would have been insane.
Yeah,
yeah.
just
There's
put
there's demos of that. I've heard them on
yeah.
YouTube. They're not bad. They're not bad. But it was leading up to what Yes would have become
Actually,
in
or made
the
it sound like what Asia would do me.
um. It sounds yeah. It could It's a good call. It's a good call because
I could
Asia to
kind of see
me,
that. I could kind of hear that.
I love Asia way
Oh no!
more than
Oh,
than
oh
I
no!
than I
Wait.
love 901. What is it called?
Oh,
90182.
dude, there's no contest.
Asia blows that off the fucking
Oh,
map.
that album is
I
just
mean,
like
there's two super groups, I think, and I talk about this in the prog rock Bible that I wrote. The UK, which is John Wetton and Bruford and
Mhm.
Alan Holsworth, super fucking group, 1978, and they were on the Asia. They were almost going up to,
Yeah.
the Dead of Night is very Asia-esque, and then you have Asia, which is commercial radio, MTV friendly, poppy, but at the same time, it is prog as fuck. When you
All over the
listen to
place. Yeah.
Heat a Moment, just you listen to the drum fills that Carl Palmer's doing on the snare, that is so insane,
Mhm.
but so that's yeah, my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, Joe, that's the most proggiest number one. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Saved the best for last.
That
I,
was my intention.
no, that was really good. Cheech, numero uno.
My number one, we're back in England, London, England. The favorite Prague song of all time. And I think this is the greatest Prague song ever written.
Mm.
Greatest riff ever written. Bow, na, 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 down, down, bow, no, no. And need I say any
Bam,
more?
bam, down, 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 bam.
I mean, 21st century schizoid man. I think honestly, it's the best riff ever, ever, ever written. But the sax, the vocals, I think it's, the vocal. I'm not gonna say it's Greg Lake's. It's hard to say, what my favorite Greg Lake vocal is, but it's one of my favorite Greg Lake vocals. The fact that it has distortion on it, which is amazing. Nobody was really
Mhm.
doing that at
Yeah.
that time. I think you said the Beatles had fooled around with that.
They were one of the few. In terms of like in rock music, they're not like yeah, only the Beatles were John Lennon famous
Yeah.
with messing around with that.
Well, I think Lake sounds like John Lennon, the way he's phrasing on the song. Um, then Michael Giles, forget about it. Forget about it. The drum fills are insane. Ian McDonald, the sax solo, the middle section, when you listen to the bass lines that Greg Lake is playing, oh my God, when it gets really
Mhm.
fast with the sax, it gets so proggy, and then they do those hits. It's insane. So I think this is the first prog song ever written, and I think it's the best prog song ever written, in my opinion. I don't know how you guys
Yeah,
feel
I
about
know.
that.
Dun, 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 dun. Like it's I
Yeah.
love it how jazzy it is. Dude, there's
Oh yeah.
nothing like it.
No, no, nothing like that song. And it's the genius of Robert Fripp. The genius. The man was a genius. Like Zappa, Robert Fripp is a genius. And he had all the elements. He had Michael Giles, Ian
Mhm.
McDonald, and of course the vocals and the bass line of Greg Lake. What a powerhouse. And it's so sad, and I don't have his name, but could you look up the artwork? The guy's name who did the artwork
Mhm.
on For the Crimson King? Because he's in my prog rock
Well, you
Bible.
mentioned him.
Yeah, I
I
can't
think
think
you
of his
mentioned
name.
him already.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it all
I'm
air.
pretty sh Oh, it was up there. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now. Oh, was this Barry Godber?
Yeah. Barry Godber. I love the album cover of In the Court of the Crimson King. And here's a story, Joe, really quick. Fripp was best friends with this guy, and he gave him the demo, and he said, "Make a picture and draw something," and that's what he drew. He drew this crazy guy who looks like Marcel. when,
You better hope he does not watch this episode.
when Marcel, when somebody tells Marcel it's going to snow outside, and he doesn't have his boots or the buses aren't running, he made that picture. And I love the artwork. And sadly, this man has nothing else. No other
Mhm.
artwork ever done with any other band. He died at 24 years old. That was it.
And created one of the symbols of next to Pink Floyd's triangle prism,
Yeah,
like
it's
classic
it's
progressive rock, and Rush's Starman, which
yeah,
plug is
yeah.
Rush Star, yeah,
And it's Marcel when it's snowing out.
or when when you guys bother.
When we bother Mark, that's not funny,
Yeah,
Chris. It's
yeah.
not
I get
funny.
scared when you like when you. I remember working with you. I'm like, dude, he's not gonna hit you like that. Wow.
I said something to him. Oh, there's some. Well, one good thing, Joe, you have to know, you're not on Marcel's leg.
But Glenn is.
No, Glenn's not. No, Devontae is all over his leg. Yeah,
Well,
so
that's right. Glenn just does not want to ever be on Marcel's
yeah,
leg.
no, Glenn said if you make it to Marcel's leg, you got a problem. He's like JV, Devontae, Josh Nilla. He's naming all these people on his leg that were there from like 20 years ago. But that picture, I was looking at it, I'm like, oh my God, it looks like Marcel when he's about to have a breakdown. It's insane. Just throwing it out there. And
The
anyway, that's my pick,
great number one. So we got number one, Joe. We have Relayer,
which is
Delirium.
great. Yeah,
24. You would definitely went to at the beginning. That's for our beginning.
yeah, yeah,
I am gonna go. You already mentioned them. Supper's ready. I mean, I
yes.
feel like this is the crowning achievement.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Prog rock. A lot of people would say something off Pink Floyd, like Dark Side. Many maybe or I'm trying to figure out like something really accessible that a lot of people would think like, what do you think of Prague? But Supper's ready. I mean, first of all, we're talking about 23 minutes of the most epic like art rock, like one. Just I love how you already mentioned like the changes is insane,
Yeah.
and they hold it together. It's not as chaotic as like Yes's Close to the Edge.
Hmm.
Um, Peter, Gabriel, it's funny when we cover the album, I have my own like, analyzing of it,
Yeah.
but just to give everyone a taste, it's a spiritual journey. We're introduced to like Peter Gabriel's version of like biblical themes. Um, and just if anyone listens to it, it's one of these songs you need to listen to at least once before you die. Like
Hmm.
once just to hear the epic ending, like and Gabriel's voice, you know, reaching new levels. And I'll be honest with you, they actually beat it with Selling England by the Pound, which itself is a masterpiece. And even like go further and Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, double album of like the most melt in your face weird art rock, but Supper's Ready I feel like is accessible. Like this is
Yeah.
one and the whole album is so amazing. Foxtrot, I wouldn't even know which like obviously didn't put
I
Watch.
mean, yeah. You just read my mind. Watchers in the Sky. I
Oh
feel
gosh,
bad that I didn't.
Timetable, which is one of my personal favorites.
Yeah.
Um, but Supper's Ready, like this is the
And
supper.
what's the one about the landlord?
Oh, that's Get 'Em Out by Friday. Fantastic
That's a great one.
instrumentally. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
bass line, you're gonna
Yeah.
love that.
I know.
Um,
Incredible.
but this is the supper of the mighty one, Lord of Lords, King of Kings. He has returned to lead his children home to take them to the New Jerusalem. I love how you
Yeah.
said that he was probably tripping on LSD and
I see. When I
and
read that.
reading the Revelation, which by the way is trip. This is Gabriel's crafting of his like biblical ideas. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy, and he crafts this kind of nightmarish too in some portions.
Oh,
Um,
definitely.
but it goes to different moods. Musically, it is so complex. Um, I love that. I could listen to another song which I wish it was longer. Honestly,
Yeah.
like so great. I think it's prog rock's crowning achievement. Like I know, and I love how Joe took it to 70 later. Like, cause yes, perfecting rock with Relayer, right? Already
Yeah.
they did it.
That's 74.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. They had nothing to prove because they already did it with,
Yeah. Yeah.
Fragile, and they
Yeah.
continue it. Amazing. And Tales
Yeah.
of Topographic Oceans. They're
Yeah.
carving their name out. You with beginning with 21st Century Schizoid Men, avant-garde, Canterbury, jazzy, metal as well. And then Genesis with reaching like I would argue like how like literary levels like Canterbury,
Exactly.
Dante's Divine Comedy,
Hmm.
Homer, right?
Yeah.
Where it's reaching like literary heights and where you actually have to listen to it. It's weird in the best way. Genesis
What
always
what I
makes
love is the call and response, the theatrical singing
yep,
that Peter
yep,
Gabriel has. When he's singing in the voice of one person, and then he goes back and he sings in the voice of another person.
yeah,
And
yeah.
he does that a lot. It goes back and forth, that they call that theatrical singing. So it's almost like you're watching a play, a Broadway play.
And,
It brings to mind.
and it's funny how you mention it because from the get-go, it starts and I talk about the soft rock, like Emerson, like like influence on it, but maybe they were one of the originators, but. he crafts a picture. It's like a drama, like, walking across the sitting room, I turn the television off, sitting beside you, I look into your eyes, and he goes, it just skip out, he goes like, hello, babe, with your garden eyes so blue, like
Yeah.
I love the way his voice is just like going through, this,
Yeah.
like you said, he's like emoting, he's crafting, and on stage, the song was insane with the different costumes, like he
Oh,
was.
yeah. I
He
know
was
it's nuts.
out of this world, but that's my number one pick, Supper's Ready by the great legendary Genesis. And shout out to my
Amazing
dad, his
picks.
favorite album and song.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I feel guilty. You guys talked about tall, so I would have put thick as a brick on
Dude,
mine.
I feel like I committed a prog rock sin because I should have included Thick as a Brick. Um I don't know what your reason is for excluding them. Mine is that I love him 43 so much. I need to put that on
I
there.
gotta be honest. When it comes to Prague, for me, my whole life, I always thought of the big four.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
My,
There's that
I,
bias.
there's Genesis, Yes, King Crimson, and ELP. Now, Pink Floyd, they are Prague, but I never would think of "Wish You Was Here" as a Prague song,
Mhm.
or even Tull. Tull was just an amazing rock radio song with heaviness going on until I heard "Thick as a Brick,"
One
and
of
I
the
was like, "Whoa, what the
it,
fuck is
one
going on here?"
one of
Don't
the
get me
greatest.
wrong, Tull had so many Prague elements. Like Floyd is full of elements of Prague. Tull is full of Prague elements, but it's not close to the edge. It's
Mhm.
not Supper's Ready. It's not 2112. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I never I kind of divide I put a divide up. Like, okay, yeah, they got prog elements, but they're not in my backyard of the top, like prog bands, which I named already, and stuff like that, And then and even like Rush was super fucking prog all through the 70s, but they got away from marathon jams and they weren't as proggy as they once were.
Yeah, they definitely
You know,
got
I
away. Once the 80s
mean,
comes, they got away with
yeah,
it.
after Natural Science, they weren't writing songs like that anymore.
Hmm.
They weren't after Permanent Waves. You got, yeah, well, you got YYZ, but that's quick.
Hmm.
But they didn't really get into.
Joe, did Cheech freeze?
No,
No?
he's
Okay.
fine.
You froze on my end, Cheech, for some reason. Okay, good, good.
Did I miss anything? That I
No, keep talking. I think
Yeah.
yeah. Um, all right. I think this is
Th-
well, uh,
This was an amazing episode, guys. I think we covered Prague on a new level here. I don't know, man. We covered a lot of
we
shit.
we covered a lot of sides.
From the Flaming Lips to Relayer, to Kansas and our opinions on it and stuff. And Joe, thank you once again for being on our 73rd episode.
Hmm.
Insane, insane, insane. And it's just getting proggier and proggier, you know.
Yeah, we
Writing
must
the
be at least 1 hour in on this show, so let's do another 2 hours.
Oh man, we're way past an hour on this.
Oh yeah, I think we're done. We're 2 hours and a
We're not quite at
half. Yeah, God.
the basement tapes, which I don't remember a word we
I
said.
we need to. I don't know Josie naps. Well, how did we talk 4 hours about that? I don't know how we did it, but
We're not quite. I don't think we'll ever top that. We're probably close to 3 hours on this episode.
I
I
think.
mean, we started at 6.
Mhm.
No, maybe earlier.
No, and it's crazy. We had to restrain ourselves because we could have gone a lot of tangents and
Oh, I know, I know.
especially with some of our picks. But it's crazy because it covers a lot of great sides. Like you, Cheech, you mentioned more ELP, which I barely had any, but and Joe's picks are from like more of prog rock's influences on on the outside, like art rock.
Yeah,
Um, and picking picks also that are your favorites, which is phenomenal. And making a shout out to like Renaissance, which I feel like they're very forgotten. I don't think
yeah. They need to be
no,
known.
yeah,
If anything on this episode, please go out and listen to
Mhm.
Renaissance. Listen to Wishbone Ash. I didn't even have Wishbone Ash on my list. I should be
I'm
shocked.
I'm
Wait,
surprised.
I gotta put Phoenix on there. The Phoenix by Wishbone Ash is in the negative zero. You gotta Wishbone Ash the Phoenix. I mean, it's hard to pick 10. Because there's so many great
Yeah,
prog
I
bands.
had to leave a lot of Genesis, like Southern England by the Pines, one of my
I
favorite
left
albums.
Caravan now. I was gonna put Caravan on here and
There we
get rid of
go.
it, but like it's crazy. So we really had some we had perfect picks actually. And it's so cool that Joe remembers these songs. I mean, I remember these songs on the radio, but I was little, but Joe remembers them as a teenager, like Kansas and Roundabout and stuff like that.
And Hocus Pocus by Focus.
Oh my God,
That's a pick I would never hear.
that's the best pick out of all of them. If we had to pick one of our top 10, I don't know. Maybe we should like for me, I would pick Focus. Manny, what would you pick?
Of our list or your list?
Any out of me and Joe's list, or like out of my list, out of my list.
Let's see. Out of any of your lists, honestly, I think Coke. Yeah, I need to listen to that because that was Hocus Pocus.
No, Joe said that. I picked Joe's. Like that's my number one out of Joe's list. Out of my
Oh, I see.
out
Okay,
of my
okay.
top 10.
All right, your top 10. I have to do if I had to pick number one, hemispheres, which
Awesome.
I should be shot for not including it.
Your top 10, I pick Supper's Ready.
Yeah, I know. Like these are such great. I mean, yeah, man, we're in the rock hall, like cr court of the Crimson King. Like we reach God levels there. So I don't know.
I know. I
At this
mean,
point, trying
it's
to
like,
come down to listening to like what you hear on the radio or
yeah.
something.
So imagine going from, close to the edge and you know, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Tarkus to what is on the radio now. Like what happened?
We need more keyboards. We need more
What the
Emerson.
fuck happened? There was a time when people went out and bought Tarkus by ELP
I know. I
and
mean,
they
that's
talked about it.
fascinating, right? How the
They talked about
demographic
it at their
changed.
job. You got the new LP, ELP. Oh, you're Barbarian. Now they're talking about blah 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 on TikTok. Wow. Where have we gone? We've gone back. We've gone backwards musically. I'm sorry. I don't want to be the pessimist, man. And of 8 billion people in the world, man, we've gone
It,
backwards.
it's funny how every time we have Silky Joe on, like you always conclude with a Cheech rant.
I know. Sorry, Joe. It just makes me think how
Yeah.
back.
Wait, Joe, do you have any final thoughts or anything anything? Comments?
I just, I got a kick out of reading up on Relayer because there was a comment by Patrick Moraz that he thought the album would have been better if producer Eddie Offord wasn't stoned so much. But I think that that's the reason why it sounds so great. Don't touch a thing. And
Yeah.
John Anderson was quoted as saying that he thought that when they performed Gates of Delirium live, it sounded better than the album version. And I'm like, no, I think you have perfection on the album version.
Yeah.
And Rick Wakeman, I'm sorry, you're a funny guy and you're very talented, but Patrick Moraz is the secret sauce. Sorry, he's not English.
Yeah. That's the whole thing with that. And I just
It's Dutch hate, You know what's
English.
funny? Wait, as an aside, has anyone ever seen Austin Powers Gold Member? Has
Who?
anyone see that? Austin Powers Gold Member?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They had this weird joke where Austin Powers' dad goes like, uh, he goes like, and the Dutch, and this guy who's Dutch like, he's a Dutch hater, take him away.
There might be some weird English
English
thing.
Dutch hate, is that a thing?
It might be because I read that. I read that.
And
Of course,
he goes like, and there's two things I hate. I forgot the first thing he hates, but then he goes like, and the Dutch. What? And the Dutch guy's like, what? Take the Dutch shit.
There might be some weird English because Chris Squire had said, yeah, when Wakeman left, we got Patrick Morris in, and he's a very interesting guy, very different. He's Dutch in the way he said, the way like it came out. So there might be some English Dutch thing. That's why Wakeman said that. And,
Mm.
and Morris only lasted one album. I don't know really what he did after that. I never followed him. Joe might know, but
No, but what I found interesting is that after Wakeman left the band, the first choice for keyboards was Vangelis. Remember Chariots of
um,
Fire?
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I'm pretty sure he composed the Blade Runner soundtrack.
Oh, Blade Runner. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
logg his soundtrack. Yeah, very
Yeah.
And
proggy.
he would have joined the band, but he has a fear of flying, so he didn't want to tour.
Wow, that's interesting.
And
And
in
they're
fact, Patrick Moraz, for his audition for the band, used Vangelis's keyboard equipment that was set up in a studio for rehearsal.
Hmm.
that's
And that's
crazy.
how close Vangelis came to being in the band. He must have played with them a bit. And then Patrick Moraz came in and just blew them away musically.
Yeah, 'cause he was a genius. He's a freaking genius. He's like a composer, a modern day composer. I looked up something about Eddie Oxford today. He's 83 years old. Isn't that crazy?
My boy, yeah, I can't imagine being 83. That's crazy.
80 fucking 3 years
Is he
old.
still producing?
Occasionally, it said occasionally he
Occasionally.
steps out of retirement and he does stuff. He did a heavy metal album by a band called Opus, not that
Oh, I
long,
heard of them. Yeah, yeah,
a
I heard of
prog
them.
metal band.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like
Still
maybe
going strong.
10, maybe 20 years ago.
They should not quit while they're alive because they're so amazing.
It's a shame. How many members of Yes are still alive? John Anderson, Steve Howe, Trevor Rape. I mean, classic Yes. Did Alan White pass, Joe, or no?
Yeah. Alan White passed away.
Mm.
Okay. Bruford's still alive. Bruford, Howe, Anderson, Wakeman, and they don't play together.
I know, sad.
They don't play together. I mean, just get those four guys, a Chris Squire type of clone type of guy. Didn't they have did Yes ever play together as Yes with a different bass player or no? Joe.
Not until Chris Squire passed away.
After Chris
Chris
Squire
Squire
passed
was
away.
always there. He was the fixture.
No, so when he passed away, did Yes ever go out as Yes with a different bass player?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Oh, I think they might have. They might have done that one tour.
Because I'd have to look up Steve Howe. Because I know that
I
Steve
mean,
Howe and John Anderson do not get along,
yeah.
so it's over in that regard. Alan White passed away in 2022.
Okay. Crazy. So,
John Anderson
well,
is having so much fun with the band Geeks. I don't think he's going to look back. And I think they're recording
yeah.
new music.
And like Emerson, Lake and Palmer is so sad. Greg Lake is gone. Keith is
Mm.
gone. Just Carl Palmer. Um, you
Yeah, I
know,
saw Carl Palmer open for John Anderson, and he was doing a tribute where they pre-recorded the other guy's parts, and Carl Palmer played drums live to that, so you could hear fanfare for the common man
Mm.
oh
and
wow.
all their other stuff. Yeah,
Yo, these guys should go out and play. I mean, that's such a shame.
And there is an interesting album that I thought was really good. Sacrilegious to some. Emerson, Lake and Powell. Cozy Powell played with them in 1986. And I don't know why Carl Palmer didn't, because I don't think Emerson, Lake and Palmer did not hate each other. They always liked each other. But they did an album with Cozy Powell, and it was on MTV, and it was like on the top charts of MTV, and it was prog and real hooky. I gotta send you that video, man. He's pretty. You
Mm.
remember that, Joe? Emerson, Lake and Powell.
I do, but I just don't know why Carl wasn't there. Why? Well, I mean, why they had to go out with Cozy.
Yeah, because they always got along. They weren't like Yes, they always were friendly and seemed
Mm.
like they got along. So, but Anyway, great show, guys. I know we're rambling. I'm rambling. But fantastic, and have a Merry Christmas. And this tops off a great our how many Prague episodes we got now? This is
Man,
probably
we
like
got we're gonna be the internet's leading experts on Prague.
I'm telling you, man. I can't stop writing Prague episodes. The Prague Bible just won't stop. It's Mr. Black. He said, "Write Prague." I said, "Okay." In the middle table, in the middle table of the temple.
Yeah, I know. Mr. Black Ghost Rider and the mystical metal table.
Whenever we find every Sunday, we come up with a new concept.
Dodging the priests.
Yeah.
Maybe the new genre should be prog rap.
Oh God,
I mean,
it's already out there. It's
Is
already
it?
it exists. Kanye West did it.
Okay.
It was 21st Century Schizoid Man. He said,
I know he should have done a whole album with that. He should say someone a rapper needs to sample prog rock songs and like
well, that would be cool. A rapper with a prog like Supper's Ready band.
honestly that would be next level.
That would be insane.
Like get away from like the trap beats. I know I'm gonna get so much hate right now, but get away from those beats and like really start playing around time signatures, being theatrical. I mean,
Get a real drummer to play 9/8. You know, rap over 9/8.
no 808s or drum machines. Leave them behind.
I don't think an 808 could replicate 9/8 off of Phil Collins on Foxtrot. No way. But that has to be a new thing. Rap, prog rap. They're doing you name a genre that mixes country rap, whatever.
Mm.
Why not prog rap?
All right, you heard it here first, folks. It's gonna be a new genre.
Wait, Rush did it on Roll the Bones.
Yo, Neil Peart was the first one. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
guess rappers listen to Roll the Bones and
Roll the
get
Bones.
inspired. That
Definitely.
song, I'm not gonna lie, it is pretty cringe. I feel like I don't know what they were thinking, but it is funny.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right, guys.
guys,
Another
Merry Christmas.
amazing Merry Christmas. Another amazing episode. Joey, Joey, Silky Joe. Thank you so much.
Joey.
I'm getting tired now. I don't know what's wrong with me. Joey, Silky
Yo,
Joey. That's your new name. Um,
Merry Christmas. Have a good night.
all
yeah,
right.
guys, twas the night before Christmas, and only prog records were sounding alive.
Santa Claus, bring me the first three ELP records. You know,
Yo, Santa baby, bring me AOP.
and bring me Court of the Crimson King, the original copy.
Let's get us a yes reunion and like let's get all these guys out there start
Yeah,
touring.
you can make it happen, Santa. If anybody could. All right,
All right,
guys.
guys.
Have a great night.
Good night.
All right,
Take care.
gentlemen. Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry,
Till the
Merry
next one.
Christmas.
Merry
Nanu
Christmas.
Nanu.